Oh, hello everybody. Just getting this set up and getting all the invites sent out. Ugh. Whatever. Hello.
My mic working?
Yes, it's working. Just give me 1 second while I send out the rest of these invites. We are currently streaming to the vlog channel. Do some of these invites on through like PayPal.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Is it because I'm talking too quietly? Hello? Who can hear me?
I can.
Okay, well.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay, it's just my headphones.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Sending out a few more of these invites. Give me a second. How was everybody's January of 2018?
Been all right.
Pretty standard.
How's the new year?
I guess fine, you know.
Nothing insane has
No.
happened. But we have fresh new memes. We have
Not great
we
ones
have
though. Not
VR
really.
chat.
I don't know how that started. It
I
was
will
just like
show you the way.
some random game.
Well, it's like virtual reality Second
Mhm.
Life. Although I think Second Life had virtual reality enabled, but now it's just for like I don't know. I never got into Second Life, but this one's free, so that's probably
Mhm.
why it's getting popular. Is because you don't have to fucking pay for it.
Isn't Second Life free?
Well, apparently it's like one of those. There's like it's one of those things that has a shit ton of microtransactions. So let's see how far back.
I actually did finally review that stupid Everyone's Hero movie.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
I just don't get the comedy behind the whole entire Uganda Knuckles thing. I just don't really get it.
It was, it was
It
funny
looks-
and jarring the first time you see it, sort of
It
thing.
looks retarded.
Yeah, it's
No, but
one
the
of
joke.
those,
I get the
thing.
idea of why someone would see like, oh, it's dumb, but I just don't think there's anything new can be added to it, like a format of a meme, right? Like there's no
Yeah.
formatting. You can't
Well, I mean,
add
like,
anything.
wasn't
It's
like
literally
that,
just the same quote over and over again.
That image of Knuckles, wasn't that like already a meme already?
Well, yeah, somebody created the.
Yeah, so they took that meme and made it a different meme.
Yeah.
Made it worse.
Well, it's to memes in one.
Okay, I got. Just gonna look. Almost got all these invites sent.
I think the whole point is that they're annoying because they've like swarmed that game.
Well, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's funny that it's basically coordinated, but I don't know. There's so many other things that people could be doing other than that at this point. When it's like, okay, yeah, everybody sees it.
It
Everybody
feels like
does
a
it
more
again.
stupid version of a 4chan raid.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. People have always done dumb shit like that in social games. There was the whole pools closed thing, and like Habbo Hotel, Club Penguin. Like this shit's been happening since forever.
Afro swastika.
All right.
Yeah.
The invites are sent out. I'm still sick. I got myself some soup.
These pranks are often anti-Semitic and racist.
Classic quote. Hello, everybody. You guys are just gonna watch me eat soup.
Queen of the trolls.
I would still like to play VR chat though. I would still like to experience it. I just like
Some innocent newscaster never knew what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah, I saw the donkey video.
he did one on VR chat or what?
Yeah, he played VR chat. It was pretty funny, and there was a very brief clip in a JonTron video where he's harassed by Kingdom Hearts Piglet.
There's I don't know if you know James Ski.
Mm,
Yeah.
Like his channel's doing awesome because of this whole VR chat thing.
Yeah.
I'll Google him.
Whenever there's
I watched him before that whole thing. I'm not gonna say that he's like ruined his comedy with it, but I feel like it's a needless buying into thing, you know?
How
you
do
know what?
How do you spell it?
You gotta if you wanna make
Ski with an I.
a business
Ski with an
like if you want to capitalize off of something and
There
grow
it
your channel, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not one to jump on memes and like do them until they're dead, but I respect.
I don't have anything wrong with
as
it. I
a-
just don't think it's very funny, personally. You know.
I respect it as a business strategy because this meme is only around for so long. You know, people are gonna get sick. Like everybody's already sick of it. Just like
Done.
a bunch of people are just discovering it and are trying to fit in. So, that's the only reason it's still going. But if you can capitalize off of it and run it into the ground on your channel, why not? You know, he's growing his channel, and then when that meme's dead, his channel will still be there, and he'll still have all those subscribers.
I like that when I just finished my Everyone's Hero video that YouTube started doing this demonetization of small channels.
Well, I wouldn't call it that as much as I just call it. It's like just a shitty policy for people that live smaller. You have to work harder to even following that.
You know what though? Monetization. They used to. I don't know how long they continued calling it the partner program, but that was all. I mean, like, this is just basically reverting to how things used to be before they allowed anyone to monetize. Like, back when monetization was like a new thing on YouTube, it was pretty much the same thing. You had to, except there weren't as clear guidelines. You had to like send in an application and all this dumb bullshit. So it's not. I mean, it's not. It kind of sucks, but at the same
resume.
time, I don't know. I don't understand the people that there are people that made these tweets that like a ton of people did, and they said things like, "Oh man, if I was just starting out on YouTube and they had these policies then, I don't think I'd be where I am today. I probably would have just quit and gave up." I'm like,
I saw your
this
tweet
is
about
probably
this. Yeah.
not the thing for you then. Like if that's if like $80 in the span of a year is enough to discourage you from following your passions, maybe you shouldn't be fucking doing this and you should be looking at something else. Because
Yeah, you had a good tweet about that.
like you have to be willing to do it and not make money if you want to do it. That's the advice that I have to give. Like I didn't.
It wouldn't be profitable for a beginner channel, anyways.
Yeah, I mean you can't expect to make money off of YouTube, especially right away. You know, you have to do it if it's something that you want to do and you're passionate about it.
I think that just goes for a lot of like different stuff. Like I'm an art major, and when I get out, like it's gonna be hard to get work and support. So I'm not gonna just stop. So
I think it goes with most entertainment in general.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean you can't really, if you're doing it completely independently, you don't really know. I mean, some people know. Some people are really good at it, but like for the most part, like you can't really force an audience to like appreciate what you have to offer. And even if you do have something that an audience can appreciate, you have to be dedicated to marketing yourself too. Like you have to, like you could be one of the best musicians or filmmakers or video creators in the world, but if you just like put out one video and be like and get upset that nobody's watching it and then give up, I mean it doesn't.
If it's art and you want to make art, you won't stop when you don't make money from it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean it has to be for yourself above anything else,
Yeah,
because
Remember that
you're doing that.
it's profitable unless you make it profitable. and then
I
do not
wanna-
even sell out.
I want to start uploading videos, and one of the first ones I'm doing is something I'm really passionate about, and something that I think is a problem with a lot of fandoms and a lot of people that try to dictate how stories should be told.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too, is like, if you're providing something unique. I mean, right now, it's easier to get your stuff out there than ever before, but there's also more competition than ever before. And so if you don't have something unique to say, then how can you convince people to watch you and not the
And if you're
thousands of
trying to
other
do it
people
just for
providing the same
views,
thing?
if you're trying to do it just for views and not because you're passionate about it, you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of people that are not passionate about it and do it only as a business and still succeed. But a lot of those people are like part of larger companies that I'm not going to name.
Yeah.
And even not like that, you've got creators who want to make art, but as soon as it becomes harder to do it, it just becomes a problem to them, so they'll stop, like you said earlier.
That's getting to be a. Sorry.
I mean, I had fun making my first review.
Mm-hmm.
The
You know what
editing kind of entertaining.
I was gonna say, I've seen so many channels that I've watched, and you know, just various projects on the internet where it'll start taking off, and it's obvious that people love it and it gets successful, but then they'll stop uploading and they'll stop doing shit, and then months will go by and they'll release a video saying like, "Ah, man, I'm not gonna be doing this much anymore because it's starting to feel like work, and I'm not doing it for fun anymore. It just feels like a job." I'm like, I don't know, like if it didn't feel like work to begin with.
The horrors of someone's job becoming their job.
I mean, like if you're not gonna treat if it is something that you love, and you're upset that it's starting to feel like work, well, newsflash, even if you're not doing it in a way that feels like work, you're going to need another job to replace that. So you can either have, I mean, like if you can get successful doing something that you love, even if you have to turn it into more of a business than it was when you were doing it passionately, I mean, that's still better than, you know, having to work 40 hours doing something else, and then like the rest of your time is just diminished.
In the writing
what you
world, we
put
have
into
a
it.
saying of "Don't quit your day job."
Yep.
Well, you should. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I was the film review channel that I have. I was working like 2 other jobs for a good 3 years before I could even do it full time. So it's not like, you know, you have to, even though it's important to like treat it as a job, you still have to have another job. So
Yeah.
I don't know, if you're not living on your own already and you don't really have a lot of responsibilities or jobs, like that would be a good time to start investing in
Also, if it starts feeling like a job, then maybe you should reconsider how you're doing it and what you're doing.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like this feels like a job, but I'd rather be doing it than you know, a lot of other things. I would rather be
You
doing
don't
it.
necessarily have to hate your job.
Sorry?
You don't necessarily have to hate your job.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
it's work, you know. Like you gotta do something for work, and work's not gonna feel like happy, fun time roses all the time. You gotta. I mean, that's why it's called work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like if in like 30 years we have basic income and we don't have to work, then fine. But right now that's not the reality that we live in. So, you know, if you have a situation where you don't have to work that much, then you consider yourself lucky. But otherwise, that's the system that we have.
What kind of soup is that?
I
Adam
don't.
eats soup.
It's like chicken and rice or something. It was just in a can that I found in the house. So I just microwaved it because I only had like 3 minutes before this thing started.
Yeah,
Sounds
the first video I want to do is about how like fanboys will get so entitled about the things they like that they'll start to try and dictate how people should tell their story or what should go on in the story just because their expectations weren't met.
Yeah, I always find
Especially with the recent release of Star Wars and people
God.
bitching about that. It's
Yeah.
like, come the fuck on.
I think if you make art, don't ever expect to get a following, because and then two, if you don't, you're still making art, you're still producing what you want to produce, and that's a privilege in itself.
Yeah, and that's why if I ever had someone tell me what to do with my story, if it's like done in a way that's like, oh, you should do this, or I'm not gonna follow anymore, I'd be like, fine, fuck off. Like I don't need that shit. It's fucking retarded.
But at the same time, that's not to imply that criticism of forms.
Oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine with criticism, like saying, well, maybe this works better, but trying to say, no, you should do this, or I'm not gonna watch your shit anymore. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It really depends on the movie, because I do kind of get what you're getting at, and I find it annoying too whenever someone's complaints are less about something not being done well, but more about it not being done the way they expected. You know, like the whole the Bryan Cranston and Godzilla thing, people were like, he was supposed to be the main character, and they got mad because of that. I'm like, wow. I mean, that's just your expectations. That's not.
You're just saying that because he's Bryan Cranston, not necessarily because
he was a hot actor at the time.
Yeah.
He was in Breaking Bad, and everybody he was a selling point. That was one of his first major film appearances, and I guess people had really unrealistic expectations, I guess.
I'm glad they brought in Rian Johnson for the Star Wars movie.
I like Rian Johnson a lot.
You could have done a lot. You could have done better, but I have a soft spot for Brick. It's just a fun movie. I enjoy it.
I still haven't seen Brick. I'd like to see Brick. I know that I'll probably enjoy it.
Brick is fun.
I'm not sure I would. I thought The Last Jedi was just fine, and I just I think it's not.
It's just so average.
Much of a
Just so
disaster as
average to
people
me.
say, and yeah,
It's not a work of fine art.
Yeah, exactly. I can understand people's gripes with it, but
like Adam said, if you expected it to be anything more than a Star Wars movie, you're expecting too much.
A Disney Star Wars movie.
Because people put the trilogy on a pedestal when the trilogy really are just fine movies. They're not like amazing grand spectacles or anything anymore. They're just okay.
Take out
yeah.
Really?
I never grew up with Star Wars. I only watched the movies when I was 15. So I guess I was separated with a childhood attachment to them. So when the first one came out 7, I just saw it as a movie. I liked it, and I liked 8 too. But
and see, my thing is I always thought of the Star Wars movies as just okay, and until The Last Jedi came out, I personally like The Last Jedi because for me it did a lot of the things that I wish a Star Wars movie would do, rather than just how it explored the Force more and explored a different side of the Force rather than just this vague
I read
mystical
about the
thing.
expanded universe. That feels a little bit more expanded universe style.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people were pissed that they got rid of the expanded universe, but to me, I love that idea because it allows for more creativity rather than just adapting shit like Marvel's doing.
You know, excuse me, I'm still sick. I do feel like people kind of overreacted to Star Wars. I don't feel for people that didn't like it, I don't feel like their criticisms are unjustified. I just it does seem just so overreactionary in a lot of ways. But I guess I would disagree that as much as I like Rian Johnson, I'm not sure he is an appropriate fit for Star Wars. Like if you want to
Breaking Bad
have
episodes
him,
were legitimately
Who
fantastic.
did he
Though.
play?
I mean, it's the director of the Last Jedi, and
Ryan Johnson
yeah,
Oh.
Ryan,
directed the first episode of Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. Directed
Sorry,
Ozymandias.
I'm an idiot.
He did
directed
the bug
Looper.
episode too, The Fly. He did that one too.
The Fly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was filler, but it's the greatest episode that's ever been filler.
Yeah, the best filler episode of all time.
They used
I
like
just-
2
I-
steps.
I agree with Red Letter Media when they kind of made that point. Like, they just gave this series to some guy. Like he's never really proven himself for that kind of film. Like he hasn't directed like a Marvel thing. J.J. Abrams obviously is a good fit because he proved himself with Star Trek, and he's a big studio boy. He's like a modern Spielberg.
Actually,
See, I like that though because they basically did what Marvel did with Guardians of the Galaxy, where they just sort of gave it to some creative people that actually took it and spun it in their own way.
But at the same time, each of the Marvel films are more or less standalone that connect to the other films, like through the lore. Whereas Star Wars,
enjoyed
like
Star Wars
it's
movies
the middle film in a trilogy, and so I find that odd that they gave him full writing credit.
And
At the same
really-
time,
and
though,
really-
you don't. At the same time, you don't know what Disney told them to like. Okay,
Yeah,
you can't do this.
I don't
you
know
can't do
what
that.
his writing
and
flexibility was.
really with
Maybe they
with-
knew like that people wouldn't like it, and they just put his name on it, and they're like, "Ha he'll be to blame."
I don't know. I think
Ended up-
I think that with any trilogy you should have one director, because if you're gonna have a story lead into each other, you can't have differing having differing styles can make it feel very off.
Yeah, it depends on the kind of movie. I think that with Disney trying to copy the success of the original trilogy, that's probably why they had a different director for the second one, is because that's how the original trilogy happened. When it's
Well,
like
I think
it's not
J.J. Abrams is more like the type of guy to do that. Ryan Johnson would do his own thing, even if it's tropey, right? But like
Mhm.
J.J. Abrams, would do
J.J.
it. He
Abrams
knew
is a more
exactly what
appropriate fit for a Disney Star Wars film in 2015. That's an appropriate fit. It's not a masterpiece, but it's what they're going for.
It's a movie.
I ended
It's a
up
movie in 2015.
more
The
than
movie, not a film. The movie, not a film.
I kind of disagree with the it's a movie mentality, because that kind of delegitimizes films that are going for much more than that. I would just say it's a Disney,
that's not
a Disney
that's
Star
not what I'm
Wars
trying to
film in
say, but,
2015.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm like more like a 2015 blockbuster film. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
Because a lot of people try to like delegitimize whenever I have criticisms by saying it's just a movie. It's like, well, okay, well maybe you haven't seen the right movies if it's the attitude.
I mean, I ended up liking it way more than I thought I was going to, and honestly, the fact that it's not the original trilogy is like good. I didn't come to watch the original trilogy. I came to watch something else.
It is,
And I love and that's
like
another
that
thing I
Luke
loved.
Skywalker is a dick.
I see. That's what I loved about the Last Jedi, is that it literally just took all of this established characters and stuff and just sort of put them aside and to make way for the new characters. It ended their arcs, except for Leia, of course.
You're just.
And
I mean, I respect that opinion, but you are describing things that like the fanboys would probably use as reasons to not like it.
well,
you know.
I don't.
I put it out.
They can complain about it all day. I don't see how it's a bad thing to set aside the old and make way for the new. I don't see that as a bad thing, considering it's a new trilogy.
Yeah, I'm not
Fanboys just can't control their throbbing
Honestly,
rage boners.
You know what probably would have been better, although they never would have fucking done this, is not having a bunch of shitty, dumb cameos from all the actors from the original trilogy. That would have been better, because I mean, that's a lot of people are just upset about the way that they handled Luke. So why not just not have him in the movie?
thought
Makes
I-
sense for the
But
way
it's
how he
like
went.
that's what they
I loved
you
what
know
they did.
that's the formula of these reboot successes at this point. Like what Jeff Goldblum's going to be in the next Jurassic Park thing or something like.
He's
Yeah.
already in Guardians.
But like,
Said
I'm
life
looking,
finds
I'm
a
looking
way
at
in
it
the
more.
trailer.
I'm
It's
looking
good.
I see what you're saying, Adam, and you're looking at it from like a business / please the fanboys perspective, but I'm looking at it from a creative perspective, and I think the route they took was a lot more creative friendly rather than just please the fanboys or have these fucking
The movie was pretty standard. I mean, it was more creative, but it was pretty standard as a film goes.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, like it was more risky.
was
They
risky,
took more
but
risks
like-
than Episode 7.
Yeah.
But it was also
Yeah.
it was also a factory movie.
yeah.
Actually,
It was,
I
I know
was
what you mean.
it was relatively risky, but not at all risky as a film goes. Like,
Mhm.
hmm
I was more or less
I know,
surprised by.
I know, but like
oh.
I'm just talking in terms of in terms of the Star Wars lore rather than film as a whole or storytelling as a whole.
Hey, what's that Blu-ray under the Take Two back there?
That's Hardcore Henry.
I found it like weird though, like how big the backlash for Luke was, because like the end of 7, like I don't know if this is much of a spoiler, but like
Well,
just like his
it's like
Or-
the spoiler alert for the film that was released when 97 or something like.
no 2 like I was talking about Force Awakens.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like literally 7,
No,
not Episode 7.
no.
Well, that came out in 2015. So if you're gonna say a spoiler, I'd prefer you didn't. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what you're gonna say, but you can like.
I was just
hint
kind
or
of
allude
talking
to
about
it,
like
I guess,
Luke,
but
like by where they left Luke as a character in 7. I was surprised by like where they like that people like were upset by that, because like it was
Okay,
kind of like
that's not really
setting it up
spoiler,
like
yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's
Like,
just
like you didn't see like that's what his character was gonna be. Like it was very obvious by what his character ended off at 7.
I mean, what they did with Luke makes sense. It's what happens to people. He's not a bright-eyed adventurer. He's a crotchety old man.
See, my thing is
it makes sense because if
is
you're,
that
like, the savior
is
of
that
the universe,
someone
you get fucked over by one of your friends, right?
someone
I'd be an
told
asshole too.
someone
One
literally
at a
told me
time.
that what Luke considered doing in the Last Jedi was against his character, and I'm like, how? And he's like, oh, he always tries to see the good in people and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you're just describing someone that is an idealized version of a person.
Well-
it's not
Male Mary
what.
Male Mary Sue.
Exactly,
Perfect.
and that's the thing. They've turned Luke into this godlike figure, this Jesus-y figure
Yeah.
that is just impossible impossible and boring to write for.
If you think about it, it's like Luke is a metaphor for the original trilogy.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of. I actually thought he was more interesting in this than in a lot of other movies.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
It is. I mean, I'm at a conflict because I do believe, I'm still sick, voice crack. I do believe that the expectations for both the original film and Luke as a character, because they've been clouded by the original trilogy and just put on this ridiculous pedestal, like it's incredibly unrealistic. But at the same time, I wouldn't consider myself like a huge fan of the original. So I don't really know. There would never be anything in my mind going like, that's not what a Jedi does. So, I don't know. I just
That's not a Jedi.
Because they never expanded on it. They never. It was always the Jedi Code was always vague.
I'm not really a big Star Wars fanboy, but I'm still like pissed off by the prequels. Whole metachlorian thing made me kind of mad.
Yeah.
I would not be mad if Disney decided to remake the prequels.
That'd be weird though.
I think that would be interesting to see
I don't know.
like a better telling of that story.
Release the not special edition Blu-rays is what.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
waiting for that.
They
Yeah.
need to.
That's I
They
can't believe
might
that
be
hasn't
able
been
to
done
now.
yet.
Fox.
Maybe
they own the
the
rights
yeah.
to that.
Yeah, for some reason Fox had distribution rights for episode 4.
Oh, that's
But
probably
didn't
why
Disney
they
just
bought
buy
them. Then.
Fox?
Yeah.
They bought Fox for a lot of reasons, and it's scary.
I mean, there might be like also like a thing in like the contract that like George Lucas like, well, you can't release the remastered editions
No
because I
fucking
don't
way,
want them
man.
to.
I just they need to pry it from his cold dead hand, literally.
I mean, according to
They do.
Lucas,
They need
the
to
He just
break
needs
into
to exit the
Skywalker
picture.
Ranch.
I'll never get over that like teary-eyed interview where he's where he's like crying that they don't want him on set, like during episode 7. They're
You're
like,
a hack writer,
they're
dude.
turning it into something I didn't want them to. It's like, well, why'd you sign over the rights for $2 billion? You don't think that
4.
why would you sign over the rights if you're gonna get pissy that $2 billion later they're turning it into something you didn't want them to? What do you
$4
think they were
billion.
gonna do with it? Why do you
They
think
gave
they
it-
wanted you to sign over the rights so that you could be on set every day and give them fucking notes? You idiot!
He's just a baby.
He's a
God.
hack writer.
You didn't
No,
give
I,
us to, like an art film director. You gave it to fucking Disney.
I
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
I
the
mean-
flavors.
Like what did you expect?
I don't think Wes Anderson has $2 billion. So
I hope I
the
would
deal was
also
the deal was
George Lucas.
the deal
George
was $4
Lucas is a
billion,
hack
wasn't it?
writer.
$4 billion.
Huh?
I don't,
Yeah.
it doesn't billions.
Yeah, Jesus.
Billions.
Some billions.
He's just a
Insert
baby,
the
though.
GIF of Woody Harrelson, just like tears and money. Like,
but
I
like,
don't know what he
this
expected.
is the thing.
It's
This
just
is the thing. Like,
unrealistic to assume that they
Yeah.
would want to do a new trilogy and do things that. Yeah, they're gonna
You
make
want it to
another
do.
trilogy. What did you think is gonna happen? Why do you think they wanted the fucking rights to the franchise? You
Let's
idiot!
take advice.
George
from
Lucas is
responsible
just-
for wilderness.
he's just a hack writer that had a few good ideas that was molded into a good story by someone else
I
that he
don't
got
know.
credit for.
He's very fucking stubborn, though.
He shouldn't have as household of a name as he does. Is what I'll say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to USC, and there's a part of the film school here that's like that he dedicated and everything, and he monthly sends over 2 guards to make sure that there isn't like a drop of popcorn on the ground or like water bottles anywhere. Like
It's definitely
literally,
something he would do.
seriously, he's such a stubborn asshole that he's like, no. Like, you wanna go to this building I donated? Fuck you. Don't bring any single drink. Like, get dehydrated. It's really weird. And
That's
it's
kind of
like,
funny.
yeah, it's like a weird common myth. And like you see these people come over with these glasses, and it's like fucking the Matrix. Like, what the hell?
That's crazy.
A single
Yeah.
piece of.
You remember when he blamed Red Tails on racism?
When he
Yep.
blamed what?
Red Tails. You remember that movie at all?
What?
No, he was also like I'm one of the most forward. He was like, I'm one of the most forward directors out there because I made Red Tails, and it's like, what the fuck is what? No, fuck off.
I remember he's like
What is Red
he was
Tail?
like-
I gotta look this up. What is this?
It's I think it had a
It's a
shitty
ski
remake,
airman.
too.
Drama action.
It was some like war movie.
Yeah.
World
Yeah,
War
it
II.
was
About
about,
the Tuskegee
like
Airmen.
this World War One squad of all black people or something.
Oh, I just
And
looked at
so
it already.
when the movie was a piece of shit and nobody liked it, George Lucas is like,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's racist.
I remember
my
like I
God.
think
It's a good
he put
fallback
the-
if you don't want to accept any kind of consequences or responsibility
I
for
remember like
what you've
seeing
created.
Red Letter Media like in their episode 7 video for Mr. Plinkett's video. He inserted like a thing about him talking about Red Tails, and he was like, "Oh, I think I was ahead of my time with Red Tails."
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. I was like, what the? It's like, what the fuck? Have you seen like any movies lately, George? Like what?
I don't know. Yeah, what year was that made? Like, I don't know.
Like 2012 or something like that.
I just don't think that we
That
should
was
have
the
ever
remake.
backed him as an art director because he only ever produced movies that were people were generally gonna like.
Yeah.
They're good movies.
Like
Fine.
Howard the Duck.
Not exactly like groundbreaking. I mean,
just
the
love
effects,
So like,
but those clearly
so-
weren't
so-
his prerogative to make.
I still haven't seen Howard the Duck.
me neither.
I mean, don't.
But,
Have you seen like
but
the
I like
unrated
bad
cut?
movies. Have I seen what?
Like unrated cut or like the like hidden frames. If you go online, like there's one like a character has like duck tits in like a bathtub.
Oh, I'm
It's
not
really
surprised.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that weird 80s
Did
shit.
George Lucas direct Tower of the Duck?
So, yeah, I think he directed it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Oh.
I
I love
haven't
when
seen it.
I love when directors can't take shit, like the guy who did Gods of Egypt. Just the way
Yeah,
he
that was odd.
That was the guy who
That's-
directed Dark
I
City.
love it. I love it when they freak out. Like it doesn't happen that often. You know, like the director of Gods of Egypt is immediately just blamed critics, and it's like, well, it's not like audiences liked it either. You know,
Nobody liked it.
It's like
Who
Alex
remembers
Avaichi.
Adam Wingard?
It's like Alex
Yeah.
Avaichi says: if you can't handle criticism of your work, then you shouldn't be making movies in the first place. Just like
Exactly.
Alex Avaichi says.
well, you
No,
shouldn't. I mean,
No,
it's not even just you shouldn't be making movies. It's you shouldn't be sharing things to an audience, because if you can't handle criticism, but you want people to respect and admire and
Sometimes I wonder
fawn over your work,
criticism
That's what.
you can't force people to enjoy something if they don't enjoy it. And then, I mean, if people are going to articulate why they don't enjoy it, that's reasonable, right?
Or you can like get ahead of the curve, like
that's
Road
one-
to the Snowman, and just be like, it's a piece of shit that makes no sense.
That's one reason why I hate whenever I click on a YouTube video and it's like comments are disabled for this video. It's like,
Oh, that's
Fuck.
always fun.
I think some people also disable it when it's all spam.
Sometimes audiences are just cancerous, though.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, like, you gotta accept that some people are just generally going to follow into that mentality, and they're going to spam the shit out of your video. So
Well,
no matter
you know
gonna
what?
the comment section,
There's.
I don't accept it, but it's just there.
If the angle of like spam or harassment, or if there's a minority of people ruining it for everybody else, I don't know, there's tools you can use on YouTube, like you can hide a user's comments from appearing on your channel. It's kind of like a shadow ban. You can filter out certain words. So if there's like a certain word that people are fucking harassing you over or something, you can just add it to a filter. I've never used that. I've been very tempted.
When you shut down a Twitter account, does it say that it's suspended, or is that only when it's been removed forcibly?
I don't know. I've
Just
never
asking.
I've never shut down a Twitter account.
Just asking because it says Adam Wingard was suspended.
Oh, well, does it say? I don't know. Fuck. He like, I don't know. I have no idea.
I recently watched the 2013 remake of Evil Dead.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was like
some people liked it.
it
was a wasted opportunity.
I don't know. It definitely was, but at the same time, it was at least worth a watch, like at least once through. But
I watched
other
it
than that, it was just sort of
Okay.
forgettable.
I'm gonna have like a love-hate relationship with this director forever, it seems. He directed Don't Breathe. And both of those films, I'm just like, oh man, there's something there, and I just wish
Yeah.
it was a better film. You
Yeah,
know?
and there were parts that could have been genuinely terrifying, but they were.
I just
And then- And then the ending doesn't make sense. Like that little after credit scene or whatever that happens makes no fucking sense.
They didn't. I'm pissed off because like they immediately decided that Evil Dead, the remake, would be a very like unironic, legitimate kind of scare, gore, terror film, and that's fine. But then when I have issues with it, like, why did the fucking plastic jerry can explode when they shot it?
Yeah.
And like dumb shit like that, and like the whole ending of the movie was just like so farted together, and then I complain about it, and then people are like, "Well, yeah, but it's Evil Dead, so it's supposed to be like unrealistic." I'm like, "No, they decided that they were not doing that kind of movie."
Well, my thing is
all of
that
the fucking marketing and all like everything. I just
the thing about the movie
We're
itself
allowed
is that
not to use effort.
the thing about the film is that to me it felt like they were trying to make it comedic, but at the same time trying to make it serious. So you had this conflicting tone throughout the entire fucking film.
It didn't know what it wanted to be, and I just it was a very, very well edited trailer, and I wish the film was like the trailer.
Yeah, like when fucking at the end, whenever she's like going into the car or whatever, and then like opens her eyes right at the end, it's like, okay, and is she possessed? Is she not? Because it just shows her eyes. It doesn't show her like being possessed or anything. So it's like, how does this make any sense? It just doesn't make sense.
Try to avoid specific spoilers.
Spoiler.
That is a 2013 film.
But now the director's doing the new Kill the Dragon Tattoo sequel. So we'll
oh
see
yeah,
how it
that's
goes.
oh no, yeah. Uh oh.
And they got rid of Rooney
this at
pie
one point,
eating
didn't
Mara. They got rid of her.
Sorry, what?
Rooney pie eating Mara.
Oh,
Pie eating?
You know about the pie?
The
The pie
story?
scene? Yeah. I don't think that's a spoiler.
I saw Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the remake, but I forgot what happened in it.
It's
I really liked.
Oh, the remake.
I really liked the Ghost Story, and I would have loved it if they didn't explain the movie halfway through.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I have not
that
seen
scene
it yet.
Pissed me off.
I have not seen the film yet.
Yeah.
Well, I won't spoil anything, but they basically explain it halfway through, and you'll see
in the
how.
trailer. It's in the trailer, but still, it's
I haven't seen the trailer either.
shit.
Well, then don't watch the
Because
trailer and watch the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect. I don't know. Like, there's people telling me to watch A Ghost Story. I don't expect I'm gonna be like, oh wow, what a great movie. I think I'm gonna be like, that had some cool things, and then move.
That's kind of how I feel about it. It is kind of that way. It's like, there's some stuff going on.
On IMDb, this guy Fede Alvarez, he's also listed as directing Don't Breathe 2, which I'm not surprised that a sequel exists. I'm surprised that he's directing it though. Usually when there's like a unnecessary sequel to something, they just tack on a different director.
Strangers
I never saw Don't Breathe.
It's fun. It's plenty flawed and dumb, but it's fun.
Isn't the premise that these kids break into like a blind guy's house and he starts killing them?
Oh, but he's too fucking OP for them. Yeah.
Okay, so why should I be scared? I want to see them get fucking killed then.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're home intruders. I don't care what he does to them.
I'm really rooting for them, but it's a fun movie. It's over the top. There are like squeamish concepts and plenty of fun. I'm not spoiling anything.
I already know how it ends. I don't think I'll ever see it.
For future reference or something.
They have that one character that's just a blatant copy off of Jared Leto from Panic Room, though, like even down to the hairstyle.
Well, I mean, a lot of the movie is a blatant ripoff of Panic Room for some reason.
True.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, the entire first 20 minutes of the movie and all these like following camera shots that are kind of like going through things digitally and like over top. I'm like, this guy's just ripping off Fincher right now. But whatever. And then there were a lot of similarities to Panic Room for some reason, and I just found that really like odd.
Speaking of Jared Leto, I love how everyone like loved him in Blade Runner 2049 when he was really just playing a version of himself.
I liked him in
a pretentious douche.
Yeah.
His voice was different than he usually does it, and it didn't feel unnatural. I think he did a good job.
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely think he did a good job, but I just think it's funny because he basically played himself.
I wonder if he was any more tolerable on the set of that movie, because he was kind of an
Probably.
idiot on the set of.
Well, he shot all his stuff in like 2 weeks, so he wasn't even there long.
Is my mic working?
Yes.
Cool.
I think Denis Villeneuve wanted David Bowie at first for that role.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That'd been cool.
That would have been cool. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah.
Did you see how he was saying how the reason that Blade Runner didn't get more Oscar noms is because of the box office?
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's one of those things where it's like the Academy. Sometimes you have to kind of guess.
At least it was noticed for the things it was heavily praised for.
Yeah.
Well, not directing.
Well,
Yeah.
besides that,
We got. Yeah, I mean,
cinematography and then visual effects.
Some of the sound.
and
I
sound
think
editing.
Villeneuve got
And
snubbed
sound.
for directing, and so did Lucha from Call Me
Oh,
by
yeah.
Your Name.
Oh my god.
Those are two.
Absolutely.
Those are two snubs in the directing
Still
category.
gonna see that.
It is. Either he's trying to do a sequel now. Did you see that?
Oh, what?
Yeah, and it covers AIDS.
Oh really?
What? Don't say that.
It's what it says. It's what it says in the article.
Well, I didn't read the article.
Sorry.
Sequel to what?
I guess
Call
I'll
Me by
have
Your
to-
Name.
Call Me by Your
Okay,
Name.
yeah, I guess.
Fantastic movie.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
That's my favorite movie.
I have mixed feelings about
I haven't
this
seen
sequel,
the
but I'll
Billboard
watch
yet.
it.
I'm pretty
I
sure
kind of
it's
don't want them to touch it. It's a near perfect movie to me. I don't really want them to touch it. You know.
You know, I mean, Lucha.
I mean, the Oscars is not known for its art film nominations, but if The Post gets over any of these movies, I'm going to die.
Oh yeah. No.
I kind of hope.
I mean,
I kind of hope Logan wins.
I mean, I have to support it because my neighbor was in it, but fucking.
Is your neighbor Bob Odenkirk?
No, it's Stark Sand. He was in like one scene. He was in one scene.
There's
I knew a
certain
guy-
people
He was
in the
Meryl
film
Streep.
industry that the Academy will just nominate every single time. You know,
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg, one of his movies is if he makes a movie, it's gonna get some sort of nomination. Meryl Streep, she gets a nomination like every year. You know.
Yeah, I
don't even know what she did.
I,
She was in the-
I think The Post is the first Meryl Streep movie I've ever seen, and like she wasn't bad.
what?
She was just good.
She's in a lot of
You know?
things.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I guess I just never happened
Yeah.
to run into her.
How do you go through life and not see a
I
Meryl
don't
Streep
know.
movie?
It's
I
a
don't
new
know.
Mamma Mia.
Have you guys seen
Maybe I have, but I
Neighbors
just
Mamma Mia
never-
2. We're doing the same songs again.
Oh god.
That's
Have you
what
guys
I have
seen-
to guess from the trailer. They
Yeah.
have the same songs that they did in the first movie.
Wait,
What are you
did
doing?
Here we go again.
Yeah, Mamma Mia 2.
Oh no!
Colin Firth and Pierce Brosnan. And
Okay.
Meryl Streep.
Isn't Cher in it? I think
Right now.
Cher shows up.
Cher as she's a
Man,
freak.
it's a perfect movie for old people.
Oh my god,
It's like an old lady movie.
life is pain.
Victor and Abdul, that kind of thing.
Oh wow, Cher
Pierce
singing.
Brosnan singing is proof there's no God.
Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
The one thing, the Dark Horse I wanted to get a best like, makeup and costume nomination is Valerian, because even though it's hilariously horrible, like there's something to be said about some of the costume designs at least.
Yeah, but who would that boot out? I don't know. What are the nominations here?
Yeah.
I've got him open. I think that for lead actress, Saoirse Ronan was pretty good out of all the movies I've seen. He was pretty good.
I'm seeing
Yeah,
Lady Bird
I don't-
tonight.
I still need to see Lady Bird.
I mean,
I'm seeing it tonight.
Lady Bird was average, but it was very enjoyable as a film experience.
Yeah.
it was an enjoyable movie. It wasn't. I wouldn't nominate her best director if
I
I
wouldn't
was,
either,
if I was
but
going objectively over like the directing that I saw this year. I mean, like, you know, I'm happy for Greta Gerwig. You know, I think her career is gonna do fucking great because of this movie. But I don't think that wasn't the best directing I saw this year, even in the top like 30. You know, like, I don't know. It was directed fine.
Has
You know,
Denis Villeneuve the new won an Oscar yet?
Who?
Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Denise Villeneuve.
Here, yeah,
Anyway,
veal like baby cow, and then nuv like
Bruv with an N.
Nuv, yeah, veal nuv. Has he won an Oscar yet? I don't know. Let's see.
He fucking deserves one. He's been pumping out
Got-
consistently good movies since fucking Prisoners. Jesus
He was
Christ.
nominated for director for Arrival,
Huh.
but not Blade Runner 2049.
I know, right? Fucking A.
Wow.
He needs a win, man. He's been pumping out consistently great movies.
Whatever. I mean, like, he's successful independently of whether or not he gets an Academy Award.
True.
Like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
I really hope Boss Baby doesn't.
I don't get why Dunkirk, got nominated. I mean, it's
What?
great cinematically and everything, but it just
For what?
was
Best
kind
Picture?
of yeah.
There's like 10
I
spots
think
for it, whatever.
I put it there though
Yeah,
for me.
for best director at least.
I
The
didn't
real
care.
question is, why
Would
wasn't
you pick
Boss
Get Out
Baby
There?
nominated for
I
Best
would.
Picture?
I would
I know.
Why not?
Dunkirk was
look him?
Yeah,
competent.
best animated movie isn't good enough.
Dunkirk was competent, but I'm not big into war movies, so I never got into it.
Well, that's just
Well, my thing is that
preference.
That's why.
to me, it was an interesting take on a war movie in how it was told, but
You may
I
not
didn't really care about anything that happened in the movie. So it's like,
You may not consider these war movies,
Cool.
but the Deer Hunter and what's it again? Are both war movies, and they're fantastic.
The Queer Hunter.
Yes.
I didn't think
Mike Pence.
Pence. Yeah.
I didn't think that it should have been nominated for like best editing, Dunkirk, because I didn't think that was the best.
It had good
Yeah.
editing.
because
I didn't find
I
anything,
mean,
but it's definitely not best.
It's a strange category to begin with
Mhm.
because there was somebody that got really upset with me on my subreddit when I said this another time, but I just find the best editing category to be just a strange category to begin with because it really depends on like how do you measure editing other than just going for whatever's the flashiest? Like obviously like Baby Driver and like I can understand why 127 Hours got best editing noms. Like whenever they give best editing noms, it's like most noticeable editing. But for
Most
me,
jump
I don't
cut.
know. Like there's so much that goes into editing that you could have somebody who put a lot more effort and did it much more expertly in ways that you'll never notice, and that's a part of it. Like
Yeah.
it's like a lot of special effects. Like the best ones are the ones that you don't know are special effects.
You can make
know?
it feel more flowing, and then you don't notice, then that's better editing, right?
I just
like with
yeah.
like with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that has like
Yeah.
very good editing, and it actually serves the story and serves a purpose within the movie.
Most of the camera trick effects were all done practically in that film.
Oh yeah, and that's one thing that
That
blows
was
my
more
mind
directing.
sometimes.
Do you think like the only way to get best editing is or to figure it out is watch the original footage uncut?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to edit the movie yourself. Yeah, that's what the Academy should be doing with every single one of them. Get all the original footage.
I thought
Yeah.
I, Tonya had pretty good editing actually.
I still haven't seen it.
It was well paced, very well paced.
I need to see 3 billboards, but it's not showing anywhere near my town.
Yeah.
Three
Yes.
blue
think-
lives.
I think the only movie I've seen that has like almost pitch perfect pacing was Star Trek Beyond. I thought that movie had really good pacing.
I haven't
Have
even
you seen
seen it,
Shaun of
but
the Dead.
I'm
Yeah, I
Shaun of the Dead,
That too.
that had great.
That
very
too.
skeptical
I
over
saw
your.
it, but I can't even tell you what happened in it. I totally
Yeah.
forgot all of it.
I have not.
It
that
was-
was the
it was
first
okay.
good thing I've heard anyone say about Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it was just okay. It was just a fun action movie, nothing special about it. But the pacing was really good. It really just kept going. It didn't feel like it dragged at all.
Apparently not special enough to win best makeup over Suicide Squad. I don't know.
I mean, it should have because its makeup and effects were way better than Suicide Squad.
Oh,
It looked like it probably should have won, but who knows? I don't think Suicide Squad should have won anything. It's just it's strange.
It shouldn't have been even uttered at the Oscars.
Dude, I wish it got Best Picture. That would have been the Oscars.
I would have killed myself.
How
I would
to
have fucking killed myself.
delegitimize your awards service.
I would have watched the Oscars if that was the case.
Step 1, have it hosted by Jimmy Kimmel.
Yo.
He's hosting again this year.
Oh no.
What? Yeah, it's not like he did a good job last year.
But he had babies at Come on.
I was like looking at this. I was with my mom and she was just talking to me about the Oscars. And she's like, "Oh, I don't know who's hosting this year," and I didn't know either. So I looked it up and I saw Jimmy Kimmel. I was like, "No, that's last year, isn't it?" I was like, "No, he's hosting again."
Just get Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
That was the only time the Golden Globes were entertaining. Was Ricky Gervais.
I still watch his monologues. Just like if I'm bored, like you just watch them, they're just fucking hilarious. He just does not give a shit.
Yeah. That's why.
I wonder how he'd do.
The Oscars won't have him.
I know, especially in like the Me Too movement, he would just rip everyone to shreds. He wouldn't give half of a fuck, and then people would just try and dox him like they do with James Franco.
Anyone see Dave Chappelle's special?
Excuse me.
I saw all of them, dude. He got ripped after that.
Right. Did you see that? Oh wait, what is it? They said that James Franco probably didn't get the best actor nom because of his
convinced of
allegations.
that. I'm actually convinced of that. That was terrible timing for him.
Right.
What happened?
Totally,
I didn't. What did he do?
What? So the allegations are somewhere along the lines of like, because he's like I said in my review, he's directed like 30 fucking movies that nobody's ever heard of.
That one you inserted in your Disaster Artist review looked fucking hilarious.
They're all bad, and that's why nobody knows he's directed a movie before The Disaster Artist. And so the allegations for Franco at this point are a lot of saying that he's overstepped his bounds when he was in directing roles with people in terms of like really aggressively trying to push to do nude scenes or like getting upset at people for in ways that are related to like sexual scenes, and like there was a claim that there was some sort of like prop mouth guard or something for an oral sex scene that a woman was performing on him for the camera, but he like removed it without telling her or something. And so his response to these allegations, he said those tweets are not accurate, but I'm not going to try and contradict them because that would hurt the movement. I'm like, well, I mean, because when you say that, it sounds like the tweets are accurate, you know. Yeah. Like if you're
so you're essentially saying
you've literally been slandered. If these people lied about that shit, you should be fucking honest about it, dude.
Yeah, because that would hurt the movie even more if they weren't.
I mean, if that's your fucking excuse, then you shouldn't even have said that they are not accurate.
Yeah, and like now, because now people. So he's basically following in the footsteps of Tommy Wiseau. Fantastic.
It's not true.
It's a dumb fucking response on his behalf because he's literally. It's basically just the equivalent of saying like maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. You know, like it's.
Allegedly,
it's fucking he. What a dumb response from James Franco, but
I can see that being the reason why he wasn't nominated.
I'm convinced that that's why he wasn't nominated.
Would you say do you think he should have been if that wasn't the case though?
I mean, everybody wanted it more for Tommy Wiseau than James Franco. Yeah. People wanted Tommy Wiseau at the Oscars. That's what it was really about. And
I liked him, but I don't think he was like anything special. I thought he just did a pretty solid time.
He did a great job, and that was, I mean, there aren't that many people that could do that good of a Tommy Wiseau impression. Mm-hmm. I keep pronouncing
a lot of people try.
Oh, have you guys seen the Tommy Wiseau's show that was released in like 2015?
Yeah, it was all right.
The gaming thing. He got abducted by aliens. forced to play Mortal Kombat or something.
Mhm.
No. It was he's like works at like an office building or some shit, and he
Oh,
plays like
you mean the
multiple
neighbors?
characters. Yeah.
Okay.
That
Not the
shit.
Tommy Y show.
No, it was the neighbors. That shit was
Yeah,
so fucking bad.
Yeah, I've never successfully watched through all of it. I would keep trying
I couldn't
and,
get
like,
I couldn't get
do
through
the
2
first
minutes
2 or
of an
3
episode.
episodes, and then it's just a lot of yelling, and that's it. It's people
It's
yelling at
just-
each other, and nothing
yeah.
happens.
It's
I
really
think
bad.
Tommy's stick could get a little worn out from like a 30-minute show of just him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got limited capabilities.
What are your thoughts on the Black Mirror? Because it was the last Hangout was before that.
Yes.
Any of it?
Yeah, I've seen every episode now. Season 1 and 2 has a lot of hits and misses.
What do you think was the miss for season
Sorry?
2 and 1? What do you think the misses were?
The episode where there are these like 2 girls and they can't remember what's happened and have like amnesia or something, and
White
they,
Bear.
like-
White Bear is considered one of the worst. So I
Yeah,
get.
I don't even think I fucking finished that one. I literally just turned it off because it
If
was
you
just
watch
so
it-
poorly
Watch
presented.
it turns out to be a commentary on justice as an idea. The reason it's hated is because
It was
throughout
just it was
until the
poorly
end,
presented. I was just taken aback by how, like, it looked like a 3 out of 10 horror movie that comes out every year but no one hears about. One of
really
those like it looked like a straight to DVD horror movie.
if
And
the
so I was
ending
just
is
like-
fantastic, however, everything else is like bad. So it's just a skippy episode.
Season 3 I loved. I really loved season 3.
Yeah.
Pretty much every episode in season 3 was great, I thought.
I need to
And
watch
then season 4, not as good as season 3.
I like it a lot, but
There
what-
wasn't
It's a
any
red
episode
line.
in season 4 that I really hated, even though I know a lot of people hate a few episodes in season 4.
I love season 4, but people have this like unnecessary hate in the Black Mirror subreddit for Metalhead. Metalhead was not supposed to be.
That one was the black and white one, right?
Yeah, Metalhead was. I love Metalhead. because
Yeah,
it's-
I didn't. I don't know. I think that just falls under the same category as expectations from a fan base.
Yes.
Influencing.
I have so far only seen 3 episodes. The last one I
only
saw,
saw-
the one with like the implants.
That was
and,
like
like,
50 episodes. Black Mirror, dude.
I actually liked that episode a lot.
I think only
I never
only
got
saw-
to the end of the second one though. My
I
sister
only saw the first episode of the season 4.
Yeah, that's the one I want to see. I want to see the like Jesse Plemons playing a Star Trek captain.
Yo, it was
Good
fantastic.
episode.
That was a good one.
That one was all right.
It was true. It was.
I tried to jump in at season 3, but the first episode of season 3 was that social media one, and that one I found kind of dumb.
Oh, I love that one.
No,
Is that the one with Bryce Dallas Howard?
She did a great job.
Yeah, her performance was great. It had a great ending as well. The cinematography in that ending was fantastic.
Yeah, I really liked that episode.
Oh, I found it kind of dumb.
What are your thoughts on Hang the DJ? Because that was my least favorite. I didn't think it was bad, I just didn't like them.
That was the wait. I can't spoil it. How do I describe it?
Oh,
that
they're-
was the one where everybody's fucking for like
It's the only one where people like each other.
yeah.
Only one where anyone experiences love.
Yeah. A lot of people hated it. I really liked it.
I liked
I
it, but
thought
it was my least favorite throughout the season.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed. You know what? I don't know because if I've seen all of them once. I really liked Hang the DJ, and without spoiling it, I liked it the most for its ending.
Yes, it's a good
but
ending.
I'm not sure how much I would enjoy watching the full episode again just to see the ending, basically. Because the entire episode before the ending, I could imagine getting a little boring and repetitive on my second watch. However, I still really enjoyed it.
What
And
do you
I-
think of? Now, this is
worth-
probably the most lorded over in the Black Mirror subreddit, which I frequent a lot. People
I haven't even
love,
checked out that subreddit.
It's pretty fantastic, except for the amount of people who just are unwilling to like an episode if it doesn't fit the standard.
Yeah.
Just so standard for many subreddits, but it comes to a level where it's like they can't enjoy an episode like Metalhead because it's too different from the formula.
Yeah, I find that weird. The hate for
Yeah.
Metalhead is just it's whatever you're upset that it's not is not what it was trying to be. You
Yes.
know, that's how I feel about that one. Like it's definitely a deviation from the standard Black Mirror, but I'm not upset at it. I thought it was pretty cool.
When you think of the narrative of the show, that man, technology is pretty bad, man. It's always gonna.
What if your mom was a what if your mom was a motherboard?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a cool concept, I guess, but I think we're already starting to witness just the limitations on how many different stories you could possibly create that are centered around like technology just being dystopian and bad, because they've already started repeating concepts. There's already like concepts and episodes where it's like, hey, that's pretty similar to that other one you did. You know?
Yeah.
So that's
They're ripping off
Metalhead is
themselves.
a complete break of the norm of what they were trying to make.
yeah.
People in the Black Mirror subreddit were obsessed with Black Museum, the final episode, because people thought that was like the best. Mostly because a lot of it was fan service.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect a fan subreddit to gloat over the most fan servicey episode.
Still a great episode.
It was cool. It was fun. It was nowhere near as good as the Christmas special, and it felt at times as though it was trying to be. But
it definitely was.
I enjoyed
still enjoyed it.
Monkey needs a hug.
Monkey needs a.
I like whenever I see people quoting that on Reddit, and I don't even go to the Black Mirror subreddit. That's been quoted other places. It's kind of funny.
Black Mirror subreddit, when you upvote or downvote, it does monkey needs a hug or monkey loves you.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
then then every other one is also the nosedive 5 stars. You either get 5 stars.
Oh, no.
It'd be funny actually. It's
You
creative
said-
a lot.
You said you've seen every episode at least once.
Yes.
Adam, what do you think about the episode with John Hamm?
Oh, I love the Christmas special. I love
Yeah.
it. That's probably my favorite.
Oh, Jesus, that one really got to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody loves that one.
Years of just nothing. Jeez.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I
that's
hope
a
everyone's
great
seen it.
episode.
I haven't seen it.
It's
Then again,
stressful.
spoilers have expired for that episode.
Well, I mean, if you can describe something without spoiling it,
I think I
just as
did. I think I sort of did.
I don't think you spoiled it. I think I don't think you did spoil it, but I'm just saying.
You just say
Archangel?
technology's
Don't say
bad.
Archangel? That was episode 2. I think we're almost finished with all the episode thoughts.
It's funny, the whole technology's evil thread, because I've been watching old Terry Gilliam movies, and his trilogy of imagination is all about, like the 3 that he did in the 80s are all about the evils of technology, but it's not super preachy in the way he does it. It's just very interesting how he incorporates fantasy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Charlie Brooker was good with Archangel at exposing how there are sides of this that people could really benefit from, but it's also very easily a very oppressive force if you use it in that vein. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how preachy Black Mirror is trying to be, because in many ways, you know, season 3, episode 1, that's like a commentary on our current society, obviously.
I've only seen one episode of Black Mirror, so I can't really comment on that. I'm just talking about Terry Gilliam more isolated.
Oh yeah, I mean it depends on the episode. So some are like literally just being attempting to make some sort of statement, and whereas others are just trying to be like, yo man, what's
Megan is
something crazy that could happen in the future, but it's unrealistic. Like there's so many of these where You know, I can
Well, if
imagine
they
some
want to
people
go
being
the
like,
long
"Oh
version.
man, I hope things never get this way." But in my head, I'm just thinking like, "There's no way this would happen because X, Y, Z." You know, there's some of these that are just that literally would never happen.
But I think it's so costly at some point that you have to be like, why would anyone ever use this when they could just do it so much easier? And how would this ever prevail monetarily?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
there's
the one
there's
problem I
better
have.
ways to automate your smart home. You
Yeah,
know, like there's no. I'm not worried about that future because it's just so unnecessarily complicated
Yeah,
that it would never fucking happen. Like it's more effort than what you would get out of it. Like we already have algorithms that can basically just detect what people are going to do.
And,
fucking
and for me,
Facebook's
it
using them.
doesn't
So
make sense to me why a company would ever invest that much money into all of those blanks. If you've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it, so you know what I'm talking about. Instead of just using better algorithms as they relate to Tinder.
yeah, and it makes. I mean, a lot of the concepts make zero sense from a practical perspective.
Still pretty cool, though.
Whatever.
A lot
They're
of
fun
people
things to think about.
A lot of people like to say that it's this generation's modern day Twilight Zone.
It is. But, I mean, it's like contained episodes. You know.
I think a lot of the same ideas can be explored, which is, it reminds me, because every Black Mirror episode with one of those awful twists, right? It reminds me of the one Twilight Zone episode. Spoilers for a show that's like 70 years old now. But the Twilight Zone episode where he thinks he's getting everything he wants, but he can't stop winning. And then he realizes that he wasn't in heaven the whole time. He was literally in hell, which is a fantastic twist, which Black Mirror overdid in like 15 different episodes.
Yeah, I almost feel as though the limitation of the series of it, basically saying, okay, every episode is going to be dystopian future technology. I don't know. At this point, it's had a good run. I would like to see the same writers and the same team basically just do a Twilight Zone that could be anything. You could make fantasy horror and still be creative without it involving technology.
I want to see a season where they redo certain Twilight Zone episodes how Charlie Brooker would write that, because I think that would be fantastic to see.
Yeah. Maybe when they've run Black Mirror into the ground and they've exhausted every single possible scenario and redid the same episodes 30 times, then maybe
season 5
they'll move on to something else.
Well, Jordan Peele's doing the new Twilight Zone. He's kind of.
Oh, there's an actual. Is it a new movie or a TV show?
TV show, and Jordan Peele's kind of head starting it.
That's pretty
cool.
cool.
I think I heard about this. That's kind of interesting.
I liked Get Out a lot.
It was pretty good.
I think the lead actor, actually, because we were talking about Black Mirror, the lead actor was in my favorite Black Mirror episode. He was in 15 Million Merits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Daniel
Kaluuya. I need to finish that one. I watched it with my sister, and she kind of flipped out and didn't want to watch it anymore.
Get Out?
My mom tried to
not Get Out. 50 Million
okay.
Merits.
What is Jordan Peele nominated for?
Best Director.
You think he's got a chance?
It depends how political they want to be at the Oscars.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's worth noting my sister also shut off Synecdoche.
I don't think that he doesn't deserve to be there. I mean, it was a well-directed movie. The dream sequences were really cool. Like, a lot of it was very creatively done.
It really depends on who they want to piss off.
So who was nominated? Villeneuve and Lucha were both not even nominated. So
Guillermo del Toro.
But see, there's still.
I could see reasonable. He'll probably win. I think.
Wait,
but see, if they're not black, they're still white.
White.
Betty.
I know what you're saying.
Did you say
Walter White?
Luca, as in Call Me by Your Name?
Yeah.
I think he should be.
He got snubbed for that one. No,
I'm shocked that he. I mean, you would just think that it's a very well directed movie.
Yeah.
You know,
but it's not showy in a way.
But that was one of the greatest films of this year, and one of my favorite movies.
Easily, yeah, it was amazing. And you know what fucking sucks about it is because like the Oscars keep like dipping their toes in this whole fucking like political nominations thing, and you know, I'm personally of the perspective that like, okay, James Franco is gonna be an abusive asshole. That doesn't mean that, you know, he wasn't one of the better actors in the year. So it's like, what is your award ceremony about? You know, and so.
But at the same time, look at these issues from a monetary standpoint earlier in this. I mean, my point is, it's like, I think James Franco, no matter what we say about how good he was, right? I just don't think the Oscars are ever going to dip their toes that deep.
Oh, of course. I was kind of what I was getting into is I was just gonna say that because they've kind of like been dipping their toes in the whole like some nominations are very clearly political, or some lack of nominations are very clearly political, and because they've kind of been playing ball in a sense, not necessarily like diving and going head first into it, but playing ball. Because of that, now, if Call Me By Your Name wins Best Picture, people are just going to go, oh, yeah, a gay movie again. Or now, you know, like, now they might have second thoughts about it because they had the gay movie last year. It's like, oh, gay movie again. You know, like, I don't like
having
any
two
sort of
gay movies is jumping the sharp, guys, okay? All right, you can't have two gay
the gays have had their time.
As the Bible says, one gay movie every 2 years. Come on.
I think that it's the reason why I don't think politics should be involved at all. Like films, you know, if you're going to grade the presentation or the talent of those associated with making a film, politics should have nothing to do with it. And as soon as you sprinkle that in there, as soon as you dip your toe in it, then everybody's fucking playing game. Everybody's playing ball. You know, like now every single one of your nominations and your wins are going to be looked at as political instead of what they should be looked at for, which is the talents of those who've involved in the film.
You delegitimize your own awards.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's, you know, I just. It's upsetting that politics is even involved at all. It should be completely
Those are separate fields. Keep them separate.
It really is. I mean, like if you want to have an awards ceremony over like who deserves a spotlight the most because of their race or gender or sexuality, or if you want to have an awards ceremony over who was the least abusive actor in the year or something like that, great. I mean, but
this guy touched the least woman.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I just think that it should be completely.
And that's one thing that really irritates me when people try to judge media based on like the diversity and stuff like that. It's like if the person doesn't want to tell that type of story with those types of characters, they don't want to tell that type of story with those types of characters. Like it's up to them. Like just.
I think diversity should be valued in media, but it shouldn't be a judging factor of that media.
Yeah,
I am pro diversity, but I am not pro enforced diversity.
Yeah, and that's my thing. And like,
see. And whenever I hear people complaining about like, oh, there's not enough of this in a movie, there's not enough of this in a movie, or they're like, this superhero should be gay. We're taking this superhero, we're making him gay now, or so weird stuff like that. My main criticism with that is that we are currently in an age of art and entertainment where we have more options than ever fucking before. And so like, when there are these same people saying like, this person needs to be gay, this person needs to be black, and blah, 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 all I'm thinking is like, I have a list of fucking movies that you would love that you're not talking about. Like, if you want to see these types of characters represented in films,
you want diversity in
here
your
are these films. They exist. Why aren't you talking about them? Why are you not? You know, why are you ignoring these
diversity
already
unless
exist?
it's dangerous
You know?
diversity?
I'm just.
Right? You gotta understand that you can't pick a gay movie that's too dangerous politically.
No, I don't think that's it. It's just I think that most people, a lot of people that wind up getting really up in arms about these sort of things, they only care about the most popular movies because they don't know shit about movies in the first place.
They
don't even know that these things already exist.
There was a post. There was a post I saw. There was a post I saw where this person was commenting on this comic, and the comic was prefaced with this paragraph that was like, "Oh, Black Panther is gonna force the white people to finally empathize with a black character," and the dude that reposted it was like, "Yeah, I'm tired of this mindset, blah blah blah," and I commented, I'm like, You do realize there have been multiple movies with a main black cast that put in quotations make white people empathize. Wait. And I was like, look at 12 Years a Slave. That won an Oscar, and white people saw it or whatever, and people were like, oh, he used a slavery movie to make his point, and it's like, so did it make them empathize with a black character? Yeah, it did. So your point is moot. And then
are fantastic. No, I don't see people paying attention to fucking Hateful Eight or Django.
And let me finish. There's the guy who reposted it backpedaled in the comments and was like, "Oh no, I was mocking this post or whatever." And it's like, dude, you didn't make it clear at all. Like, considering your past post, it doesn't seem like that at all. It was ridiculous.
Did you see the tweet that guy was like, a word about Black Panther? Not a single scene was shot in South Africa.
That's kind of funny.
Ridiculous.
I will add to that thing of I forget what that article even was, but I saw an image of it where they were like, oh yeah, now the racist nerd superhero comic culture, now they're forced to empathize with characters that are not white.
Crap, I saw that one too.
I think what they were more like, I think it's obviously I think that it's an obnoxious thing to put in an article in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if we're going to criticize it, which is deserving of criticism, that we should try to represent it more accurately, because when you, I don't know, using an example of 12 Years a Slave, it's like, that's a movie where people who want to see a slavery movie are going to see it. Like that's already, people who want probably are more liberal perspective in the first place are going to see it. And I think what they were trying to get at is like, they have this narrative of this like dude bro culture behind comic books.
No.
And they're like, now it's in your media and you can't escape it. And if you want to understand what's happening in Captain America 4, you're going to have to watch this movie. So I think that's kind of what they were getting at, even though I disagree. It's an obnoxious thing to say in the first place. It's a dumb, I don't know. I really I don't think it's productive to be divisive.
And that's what people like on both sides need to realize, is that like being this like up in arms about stuff like this isn't going to get you anywhere, and just coming from one perspective isn't going to get you anywhere.
I think we should just start ignoring it.
Being mad about something, it adds nothing to it. The same with Star Wars earlier. What are you going to do by just getting mad at Rian Johnson for the franchise? What are you going to do?
It's an outrage culture.
Like when people did like a change.org position.
That's one thing. That's one thing that really irritates me, is when people try to get offended for other people.
Yes. Adam about that when he talked about Borat and Bruno in that video. He made a great point, which was we're getting offended for gay people. If you're getting offended for gay people by Bruno, you are not giving them the intellectual ability to get offended by their own.
Here's what making a mistake. Sorry, I got interrupted. I was just gonna say, like, along those lines, I've always kind of felt like a lot of attempts to co-opt minority groups for your own political narrative, and you're saying I need to be offended for this group. A lot of the times I see that happening. My main issue with that is it really very much feels like infantilization of any group that someone's talking about. When somebody says like oh, you can't have a movie that has a gay character like this, or like, you know, the whole Bruno thing, or like whenever somebody does that, and I'm just a gay dude, and I'm thinking like, I'm not a fucking baby, you know, like I'm not like, what do you think I am? Do you think I'm so like intellectually sensitive and stupid
The reason
that this is
Bruno
what you
is
think I am? You know, like you're creating a more offensive caricature of me than what you're claiming is.
Yeah,
You know?
Bruno. People often say this about movies. Bruno and a lot of other movies, they're not parodying the people themselves. They're parodying the cultural standards we have of these people, right? You've got the
I mean,
all these other movies. That's why it's so ridiculous, you know.
Borat was more of a commentary on anti-Semites and racists than it was a racist and anti-Semitic film.
It wasn't trying to. It wasn't also trying to go against foreign groups. It was also parodying how American culture would handle foreign groups. Because remember, in all of those scenes, you got a good look on how we as people actually treat these people, rather than what we think. Right? If you're
America,
that movie, but if you're looking at it more from a perspective, you can see that there's those scenes with people at fucking voting booths saying that gay people should be hanged, right?
Oh yeah.
It's not a comment on how bad Kazakhstan people are. It's a comment on how fucking evil you could be.
It's hilarious. It's
great. It's actually a great movie.
And you know what? Like, a lot of the commentary found in the film wasn't even it kind of just like fell into their laps rather than being like pushed for a narrative. Like the film was made, and it could have very well have not had a lot of those scenes in it. The film didn't exist to create those scenes. It was more of a serendipitous kind of situation that allowed those scenes to happen.
The film's purpose was, if we pretend to be foreigners and we walk around like we don't know anything and that we can be trusted to not know anything, look at how many evil people will just fall into our laps as if they have no idea.
I just think it's hilarious that like he was able to play the character Borat, and it's like the character is literally just based off of America's ignorance of other cultures. And he can literally just say whatever the fuck he wants, and people buy it because he's doing a great performance. And people you know, because it's in America, and people believe that there would really be someone from Kazakhstan who does and acts like that, and like you know, who doesn't understand what retired is, and like talks about keeping his sister in a cage and raping her, and other cultures.
I think it's important to visit other
Okay,
countries.
Okay, yeah, I got it. All right, okay, I get it now. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I think I don't know. This from my own subjective, anecdotal interpretations that are probably not backed up by any serious fact. I feel like Americans are very under-traveled for being in a you know, privileged Western society where you could travel wherever you want, but like there's so many Americans that just like don't have their passports, not because they couldn't afford to like road trip to Canada, but just because they're like, I'm in America, I don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah,
well, to be fair, to get any sort of, you know, actual income, people have to work exorbitant amounts of hours just to keep themselves afloat.
American culture as a whole makes it harder. American culture as a whole makes it harder to travel, not only by what we're taught about America, but by how we make money in America. If you make money in America, I'm pretty sure it's intentional that it's harder to travel to other countries here.
I'm talking about like how difficult it is to get American to get their fucking passports to come to like a furry convention in Canada. You know, like Vancouver's 3 hours drive from Seattle.
Well, that's another
right?
thing is that
And
people view Canada as sort of like the diet America.
Well, yeah, I mean, people are like, oh, it's just the worst version, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's a great,
honestly, with
fucking vacation.
From what I hear, Canada is the better America.
In many ways.
I think it's fantastic because I'm trying to get tickets so that I can go to VIF or TIFF next year.
Adam, if you do a hangout in Canada, I will fucking come. Damn it!
Oh, like a fan meetup?
If I can meet Adam, I will die.
I'm not allowed in Canada.
I'm gonna be. I don't know what part of Canada you're at, but I'm gonna be in fucking Virginia. So.
I live in Minnesota.
Did you just say Virginia?
I'm in Virginia as well.
Oh. I don't even know where exactly Virginia is.
East
right below DC.
Oh, okay.
Are you more towards
I'm a West
the East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Okay, yeah, I'd have to plane then. I'd have to take a plane then.
Yeah, I've never done a fan meetup, but I have done things where I've said where I am that have been events. Like I've done like panels at conventions, and sometimes sometimes it's really obvious that I'm at a film festival and I'm there, but I've never done the whole like, hey everybody, come here right now. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you do a meetup, I'd fucking go.
Yeah.
I would definitely go.
If you did a meetup, I'd cross the Atlantic Ocean just to see it.
As long as it's after April of this year.
Yeah, VIF and TIFF are both great. That's Vancouver Film Fest alone. It's like I would encourage anybody from like Washington State to just fucking road trip up for that if you love movies.
I might actually do that this year.
I'm trying to get tickets.
Cause I'm gonna be back in the States and I'll be able to do all that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
is marijuana legal in Canada?
Sorry,
is marijuana legal in Canada?
It will be federally legal by June 1st, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I cannot partake.
Doesn't really matter. It's like, I mean, Vancouver, it's decriminalized already, so.
Adam Blaze.
Yeah, like nobody gives a shit in Vancouver.
But
I mean,
but yeah,
I'm looking forward to it being legal, recognized legal federally. Should have been done a lot earlier, but I guess I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I guess
it needs to be legalized in the U.S. already.
So
It's after Jeff Sessions, after his move, we're actually coming closer to legalizing it here.
Mm-hmm.
Which sounds counterintuitive, and it is, but really, because a lot of people are realizing how dumb that move was. So I actually wrote an essay about this for school. After people and Congress realizing how dumb that move was, it might be another 2 years till we have it legalized federally throughout all of America.
Do you think? I mean, do you think that it would be legalized federally while Trump is in office?
I think it depends on what Congress will do if they push it past. At that point, we might have to see what Trump would sign.
Do you think he would like? It seems like such a.
I think
Republican
it depends
thing to have attached.
I think it depends on who gives the money.
Well, actually, Republican support for legalization of marijuana has become a majority now
among the voters. Yeah, for sure,
majority,
but not among the politicians.
See, my thing is, it depends on who gives Trump money and who plans on actually going for pot as a market.
Yeah.
If say
some money thing.
For some reason, some company for some reason doesn't want pot legalized and gives Trump money, it's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah. I don't think it'll get past the House anywhere, even if it was.
Yeah, I mean, states' rights. It's a cool thing. So.
I've got here. Let me see who said this. I'm trying to remember who said this quote.
See, Republicans only like states' rights when it's convenient for them.
Yep.
I
Hey,
would.
are politics anywhere near as retarded in Canada as they are here?
We have our issues, but they're nowhere near as comical and ridiculous as the issues in the United States. They pale in comparison. We're doing just fine here.
Yeah, and see, a lot of people will try and point out problems like in Canada or Sweden where, all this other stuff. But then they don't realize that those problems aren't as bad as the problems we have.
They're really minuscule problems compared
You can
to
point out all the rape
what has been happening in the States.
Widespread, counting every other law, it's not nearly as bad.
Yeah, Canada's fine right now.
Yeah, no, so
we're doing just okay.
I found it. Republican senators from Colorado, for one, and a bunch of others have obviously Colorado legalized it, but they've come full force against Sessions. That's starting to become pretty big. Cory Gardner, state senator for Colorado, said that he's going to put on hold every single nomination of the Department of Justice until Jeff Sessions lives up to the commitment he made. As a quote. Damn. Yeah, people are fucking pissed about this. So I don't think what he tried is going to work, especially because
America, you're gonna need it.
Especially because there's evidence that he didn't live up to this promise he made about rescinding the Cole memo.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, no, I had to do all this, so I just had to do it.
Oh, that's
sorry.
Fine. No worries. Yeah, Canada is we don't have any serious issues at the moment compared to the States. If the United States didn't exist and wasn't like right below us, if we weren't touching the United States, then maybe our issues would seem a bit more real,
Yeah.
Look at this shithole over here.
Yeah, it's really we're fine right now.
You're just North Mexico.
No, because their government isn't corrupt and run by cartels.
Every government's corrupt to some extent. I don't say Canada's not. I mean, Canada's got plenty of fucking corruption. It's just
I would say corrupt in to the detriment of the country.
Canada's got plenty of
Mexico.
Mexico is upfront about the fact that it's owned by cartels. America will never admit that it's just corporationalist, right? We're not going to come out and be like, yeah, no, we're bought out. No.
We're for the people.
No, that's wrong because they do it out in the open. Like they won't say it. They won't say it, but it's public knowledge.
Not really. What about the majority of people who believe in a system that clearly benefits corporationalism over the will of the people? As it currently stands, America's government is not democratic it's democratic, but not very.
What I mean is that a lot of the deals that happen, quote unquote, behind closed doors, either end up on the internet anyways, or are public knowledge anyways.
Well, I mean, it's like it's like before it was proven that the NSA was spying on everyone, but everybody already kind of knew it was happening anyway.
Same with the Hollywood thing. Except that's a different like category.
I mean, there's only so many people denying what's probably happening.
We all knew that something shitty was going on, but none of us knew the extent of who it was or what was going on exactly. So it's a different.
America is like too far gone, and I don't believe that it will recover. So.
Well, I think if not to be a fucking
waiting for it.
Ideologue, but I think if Bernie Sanders were elected, we'd maybe get something done. But
I believe
that's just me.
I don't want to. I will want to change the subject pretty soon because I don't want to make this too political.
I was going to say we're in Andy Worski live stream or something, man.
Well, yeah, except a little bit less alt-righters, but I love the guy.
Adam, I saw that
he's a good guy.
That you saw what is it, Riot in Cell Block 99, which I also saw, and people were hyping the fuck out of it, and it was like laughable at a lot of it, so I was just kind of confused.
It's it was bad, and I think that it's one of those things, like Remember in my M. Night review when I was talking about this effect about Jean-Claude Van Damme and how you just make a bunch of shit and then something that's like passable and then people go crazy?
Yeah.
It's like people were so excited for Vince Vaughn in the same way that like people overhyped Keanu Reeves because of John Wick. They're like, "Oh, I was waiting for him to make the return." So it's like people really love Brawl in Cell Block 99 because Vince Vaughn is like passable performance-wise in it.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, "Oh man, the champ has returned. I told you he wasn't the worst
champ.
actor ever made." That and it's like a dumb fucking action thing and there's some gore in it, I guess. And it's not even well done gore. It's not even like
the prosthetics get pretty terrible.
The fucking
like
the fight scenes are shit. Oh, the choreography and the fight scenes are so bad.
Awkward kind of.
Oh,
They're
everybody
they're
moves
trying
so
to, They're trying to
slow.
redo Bronson.
It's it's like watching fucking 13-year-olds doing some dumb fight skit for drama class. It's like, like they punch at this speed and they're not even punching at the person. They're like you can tell that they're gonna miss the punch. You know, like they're trying to miss. But,
my favorite line was get ready for 9/11 part 2 and he
that
throws
was
a grenade.
weird. Why? That was so strange. I don't understand why that happened.
Also, 1 second. What?
And then this isn't much of a spoiler, I guess. Like this is near the beginning of the movie. If you really
Remind me
spoiler
what we're
alert
talking
for
about.
Brawl in Cell Block 99 starring Vince Vaughn.
I was
I'm not going to spoil the whole movie.
I was
going
to see that, man.
I just need to talk about one part. There's like he's going on a fucking deal because he's like, man, I'm a retired boxer, but I need money. And fucking Jennifer Connelly is in this movie, and she's so bad. The girl from Quarantine, and so he goes on this. He like meets up with these mobsters or whatever, and she's like, you know, Jennifer Connelly is like, "Oh, I thought you quit this business." He's like, "I just need the money. I'll just do it one more time. It'll be safe." And then they go into this like the mobsters are like playing pool, and you can tell that like the director really wanted the scene to be lit from the windows, and so they just didn't have any of the lights on in the house. But it's like it doesn't make sense logistically why there are no lights on in this house and they're playing pool. And the lights just go. And there are other scenes in the movie too. Like later in the prison, there's like parts where like there's the prisoners and they're all like taking notes and like at this table, and there's no lights on, and it's being lit from outside just as a purely stylistic thing. But if you try to think about it practically, it's like why would anybody do this? So then like Vince Vaughn and like these two other guys, they take a boat, they steal a boat or something, like, and then I wasn't even clear about what happened. They like got mad at each other, and then like
cops or something.
One of them like punched him, and then they were like, "We're gonna do this ourselves." And then like Vince Vaughn's like, "Okay, bye." And then so they go away with like the money or the drugs or whatever they were doing, and then in the distance you can hear like these cops show up, like where, and then they start having a shootout. And Vince Vaughn, for like no fucking reason, even though he's like already safe right now, and he's like he could just leave and no one would even know he's there. Zero reasoning. He decides he's gonna go over there and like punch one of them. Like I don't know what he was trying to accomplish by going there and becoming a part of this fight, but he does that. And the guy, one of the like mobster goon guys is like behind a car, and they do this whole fucking cliched fight scene where all of the bullets make sparks on the vehicle, and like somehow a vehicle is adequate cover from gunfire. And so he like takes this grenade. He's like, "Get ready for 9/11 part 2." And
I remember that.
And he throws it, and it lands underneath the cop car, and then it's like the most pitiful fucking explosion ever, but it's not played off that way. Like, the movie doesn't understand that it's like the lamest explosion. It's literally just like poof, like underneath the car, like it's like it had hydraulic.
It doesn't hurt any of them.
Oh yeah, like it didn't do anything.
Can you imagine how
that car would have been gone?
That too. Can you imagine if, like, in The Godfather, when the car explodes, fucking one of the characters was like, "Get ready for 9/11 Part 2," and then the Godfather's car explodes or some shit? It would ruin the scene. I just don't get the point of these things.
It would be especially strange because 9/11 did not happen when Godfather.
Another 20 years.
But yeah, it was a strange and bad movie, and like there's so many fucking like plot holes and character choices that don't make any sense. And people are treating this like there's legitimately people that are treating this as like an art film, like a great like hidden gem sort of thing. Like, I don't know. I saw this guy's last movie too, Bone Tomahawk. It wasn't as bad as Cell Block 99, but it wasn't a good movie. It was dumb gore and dumb action, and it was dumb. Just because it's not a blockbuster doesn't mean it's all of a sudden an art film just because nobody saw it. You know, just because you have this director that you like. I don't know.
Adam, on your recommendation, I finally saw Martyrs.
Oh, I love Martyrs.
That film, that was fucked up.
It's a good movie.
Not to backpedal.
It's Hostel. It's Hostel done better because Hostel sucked.
Yeah. Just quickly, one more thing on Cell Block in 99. There's a scene in the beginning, like the very beginning, where he tries to like beat up a car.
His wife's car.
And it's
his wife's car.
It's so awkward.
And she just like watches, and it's like he just like waits, and then
it's to show that he's a boxer.
I don't even think she saw it because like
she walks inside. There
was no shot of her like being like, "Hey, what are you doing in my car?" He just walks back in, and they just talk for like 10 minutes.
Maybe
they never really addressed it.
I was waiting. I was honestly waiting for like a scene where she was gonna walk back outside and be like, "What the fuck did you do to my car?"
They literally never addressed it. And it was very awkward.
Maybe it was supposed to be like the bonus levels in Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Did you see Lord of War?
What were your thoughts on Swiss Army Man?
I heard both of those questions, and I will answer them one at a time. I have seen Lord of War. I very much enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it well.
It's one of Nick Cage's better movies, and it's one of Andrew Nichols' better movies.
Because I remember you had it on Blu-ray because I saw that video.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
I would, whatever year that was, it'll be in my top whatever. I was also asked about Swiss Army Man. It was all right. It was better than I expected, but not by much. I wouldn't put it on my top of the year list, and I wouldn't put it even on my guilty pleasures, but it was all right. It was fine. I hated the ending. The ending fucking sucked. The ending was like a reveal of what happens if they're trying to make an actual movie and not just ironic farting. And it was very transparent that they are not really that competent storytellers, and that the only way they're ever going to get away with anything in filmmaking is just by being like, haha, we're not even trying to have a story. Okay,
it's
if you do that forever, you're fine. But if you're going to try and make like a real story, it's obvious that you just suck at it.
It was one of those things where it was sort of ruined by the ending because they sort of just
the ending sucked.
They undo everything that the film was building to.
The ending fucking sucked.
Yeah, same with 10 Cloverfield Lane. Like they even all I'm gonna say is that the alternate ending is the ending that should have happened.
You know what? In 10 Cloverfield Lane, it shouldn't even be called the alternate ending. It should just be called the original ending. Because J.J. Abrams he took a giant dump all over the script and said, no, this has to be about Cloverfield now.
Yeah,
it wasn't even supposed to be a Cloverfield movie. It was going to be its own fucking movie. It had nothing to do with Cloverfield. It was all just shoehorned in. Anyway.
It wasn't even shoehorned in because like the what actually happens has nothing to do with Cloverfield, and
Exactly.
the tie to Cloverfield is super fucking obscure.
Yeah, it was. He forced a connection to Cloverfield and ruined the movie because he felt like it.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious.
It's one of those. It's like I just find that to be unethical and kind of morally reprehensible because you're literally like you come across a fucking guy who wants to make a movie and you're J.J. Abrams and you got all the fucking money in the world and you say, hey, I'll fund your movie, but you have to ruin it. we're gonna turn it into something you never wanted it to be, but this is your only fucking shot at doing anything in the film industry, and
That's
so I'm
like
gonna
most
rape
production
your
companies.
baby,
They
and
only-
now
they
you
only
can
did
make a
it-
movie.
They only did it to market it. Like that's probably like the only reason why is to market it. And I agree, it's still shitty, but I think they only did it to market it.
It's because he's an asshole.
An asshole.
Yeah, he wanted.
Almost anytime I see J.J. Abrams, though, I always think he's Tom Kenny because he looks just like Tom Kenny.
I don't even know who Tom Kenny is.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
Pencil Vester.
Oh yeah.
He plays a lot of characters in Rick and Morty.
Yeah. He was the Squanch guy.
He was also
He was the jelly bean.
Yeah.
He was
I don't think
also
I don't believe he was anybody in the last season, was he? I think they
Yeah,
took
he
a
was.
Tom Kenny. Oh, did he?
I think it was a few things, but he was the hunter in season 2.
Uh-huh.
So you boys think about Tyler Perry? He's an
Fuck
Oscar,
him.
am I right?
I fucking hate him.
Ever
don't
lived.
consider this man to be relevant in terms of anything important happening in filmmaking. That's how I feel
What?
about
But
Tyler Perry.
Light Camera
Watching
Jackson.
a Tyler Perry movie sort of feels like watching the entertainment from 15 Million Merits.
Like I tried watching
feels like
one of the media movies, and it was a comedy. No, it was a drama that forced a comedy into itself. It was the most strange fucking experience I've ever had. It revolved around like this guy trying to help out a hooker get off drugs or some shit, and then cuts back to Medea, and it's like, what the fuck is this shit? Like what?
They're very confusing and confused films.
You said in your Gone Girl review that didn't even know who Fincher was, and he said if he knew that he would not have done it.
That offended me.
And he said, didn't he say that if he knew who Fincher was, he would not have done it?
Yeah,
or something like that.
That's such a douche thing to say.
I'm sorry, I don't have the
What do you think
context.
he is?
Like, what are you talking about again?
We're talking about Tyler Perry.
And Gone Girl. Didn't
Yeah,
know
what's
David
this?
Fincher
What do you
was.
need to say?
He had a very prominent role in the film Gone Girl.
He was pretty good at it too.
And then like immediately came out in an interview and was like, "Yeah, I was only in the movie because my agent just put me in it. I don't even know who David Fincher is, and I probably wouldn't have been in the movie if I had known."
Oh wow, yeah, dick.
How can you be a filmmaker? A filmmaker and not even know who David Fincher is?
You can't
asshole.
call it.
What
It's
are you like? What is
insulting.
wrong with you? You have no respect for the industry that you are a part of.
Also,
like you've made this
like
your
saying-
life. You don't
That's like
watch.
saying I don't know who Steven Spielberg is. Like, what the fuck?
I'm even more confused because it's like, oh, this guy who I don't know that I don't know directed it, and if I knew that this guy that
doesn't
I
make
don't know
sense.
directed it, I wouldn't have been in it.
Also,
And it's like,
you go.
Yeah, but he still makes a shit ton of money from it, so.
how did he even get to film business? Like, what the fuck?
He makes money from middle-aged women that want to laugh at minorities.
Yeah, maybe.
Spike Lee was like, his movies are bad. It's bad representation. This and that. In an interview, he's like, Spike Lee can go straight to hell and walks away from the camera. Like he just says that and walks away.
Oh, that's
It's
so
really
funny.
funny.
Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't even know because it's like the Medea movies, like every Tyler Perry movie, it's in the category of films that you can tell they don't even try to market outside of America. It's in the same category as like all the Tyler Perry movies, and then like all these
God is Not
fucking
Dead.
like 9/11, like the American war movies, and then like every single like ultra religious movie, like God's Not Dead and Heaven is for Real. Like it's one of those things where it's like if you don't live in America, you're not seeing ads for it. They don't even try. They don't even try outside of America.
You guys
are
What was
lucky.
it? Nicolas Cage movie that was ultra religious.
Oh,
the rapture.
Left Behind.
Left Behind.
Left Behind.
If you guys,
Yeah.
if you
I
guys
can't
want like,
imagine anyone in any country other than ours getting an advertisement for that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
can I shill another channel?
I love how in that movie from the beginning the dialogue is so atrocious. I love how in all of these religious films and all of these and all of these movies, any movie that's trying to push a certain agenda, the dialogue is always so inhuman. Like there's just someone who's just in the crowd, a face in the crowd trying to talk, and then they give this really well worded explanation, and their immediate response. Immediate response is like, "Shut up, Christian."
If you guys want a channel that does like really funny and really good reviews of those horrible Christian movies, look up the Bible Reloaded.
Bible
They
Reloaded.
rebranded to they've rebranded to Hugo and Jake, but they're fucking hilarious.
I love the chick track reviews they do.
Oh yeah, those are hilarious.
Oh my god, they did the original, JonTron's video on Dark Dungeons.
Oh yeah.
They did that chick track, the original. The original is even worse.
Yeah,
Their actual Bible study is pretty amazing.
No, I actually had whenever I worked at Kohl's in Alabama, I actually had someone hand me a chick tract. It was the most uncomfortable experience ever.
A what?
It was so bad. He handed me a chick tract. Do you know what a chick tract is?
Are those little like pamphlets?
Yeah,
the little comics or whatever.
Yeah, those things that
in Virginia, Williamsburg, close to Williamsburg, after a trip for school, and I was whistling Elton John, and this fucking like pilgrim looking dude comes up to me and tells me to stop whistling. And it's not even his store. There's like 3 children around him. He's like, "Stop whistling Elton John." So I had to stop because my teacher would get mad at me if I didn't, because he thought I was being rude to this random dude who just walks up to me and stops asking me to sing this. And there were chick tracts there too. They were selling them.
Those are those like they're about like this size, like rectangle.
Yeah.
It was the most super religious, super homophobic.
I talked about them in my Blu-ray collection video.
Rick and
Yeah,
Morty.
it was the most random and just uncomfortable experiences ever, because he hands me it and I'm like, "No, thank you," and he's like, "No, keep it," and I'm like, "I don't need it," and he's like, "Why not?" And we just got in this little mini debate, and I was so pissed off afterwards. I was like, "Dude, come on."
You ever see Jesus Camp?
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to.
Yeah, there was like this little girl handing out chick tracts in a bowling alley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, one of those.
Oh man.
One of the women receiving the tract was trying so hard to be
She
polite.
was being nice.
Yeah,
what do you gotta be nice.
I'm heading off, so I'll see you.
Thank you for joining.
Bye bye,
Feel
man.
better, Adam.
Thank you.
Bye, man.
I will try to feel better.
Have a good one.
When you're coughing in the background, I'm worried that you might just pass out in front of your camera.
You know, there were worse times that I could have had this hangout.
I wonder what was more.
I've been sick for like 2 weeks now, and this is not as bad as some of the days that I've been sick.
Well,
I
that's
think
good.
I'm getting better, kind of.
Yeah.
Influenza's as
Yeah.
bad as it was in 2014.
No, I have AIDS, so
Shit.
Oh shit, dog.
Oh, wow.
it's just
Oh,
AIDS.
they were right.
Yeah.
Those tracks were right.
Did you look up at Weapon D again?
Did I look up what?
WebMD?
Oh no.
It was a joke
Diagnostics.
about.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
What
I
about
just
the
didn't
one?
hear you.
What about out of all the worst chick tracks? This one is the most just morally disgusting. There's one where there's so many anti-gay ones, but there's one where the depiction of why he's anti-gay or why he's trying to convert some kid is like because he got raped in juvie, and that's their explanation of people being gay. I'll post it.
There's a lot of really strange explanations that really
you know what's hilarious?
Cult-like indoctrinated people come up with to describe why people would be the way that they are not. You know, like in God's Not Dead, the atheist in that movie, it's like, no, this is just a guy who hates God. This is a guy who's had some bad things happen in his life. Like, that's the only reason why someone wouldn't believe in a God is if they're...
He's an atheist because he hates God. That's why he doesn't believe in God?
And, you know, like I was saying earlier about that whole dumb article, it's like, you can criticize something, just be honest about it, you know? Just don't try to misrepresent the side that you're arguing against, otherwise your argument looks like shit.
That's all these people can do, though. That's all they can do.
The most hilarious chick tract is the one where the world is run by kids, and like they're into like occult shit and stuff like that. It's the weirdest fucking thing ever, but it's hilarious.
Harold Penishman.
I actually have a little pin of that on this hat that I got from another YouTuber. And
Also,
it says
Harold Penis.
It says drugs, guns, and drugs, something else, and tiny guns. It was funny as fuck.
Oh man.
Oh, I just looked at Chick Track. One of my favorite lines is and this is how they convert people. Obviously, it's being gay is cool, Charlie. Yeah, no. I don't think
that sounds like Cool Cat.
There's gay is so cool, Daddy. Ask any 7th grader whether or not it's cool to be gay. Ever.
If you guys want a really good chick track, listen to the one that the Bible Reloaded did with Dark Matter 2525. That one's like just fucking amazing.
Here, I'm posting it in chat.
I really liked the one with Logic, the chaplain. Like,
no, the gay chaplain was Dark Matter.
I'll post this in the other chat also. In the YouTube.
The gay chaplain was the one with Dark Matter.
My God. Speaking of shitty comics, is anybody familiar with those really bad like double bubble comics? You know that like like pink gum like individually wrapped, that's like the only people that buy it are people that were young in the 1930s. And you open it up and they have like a fucking joke, but it's all just like it's so bad. Have you ever read those jokes?
Is it like Laffy Taffy levels of cringy?
Like it's like called Double Bubble or something.
Yeah, Double Bubble, the little pink ones. And they have the worst fucking comics ever.
Oh my God, they've literally never been funny. Bubble, never been funny ever.
No, because that's Hubba Bubba you're thinking of. Hubba Bubba is like a good gum.
Bubble is fucking gross. Like, it's not good.
It's bad.
Double Trouble or Double Bubble is disgusting and shitty.
It's bad.
How about you look a couple up and read them aloud for us and see how much we die inside?
Wake me up.
They're like not even jokes. It's like a little story that'll be like the guy throws a clock out a window and it's like
for people.
Time fly.
Oh God!
It's jokes for people in nursing homes.
Pretty much.
Totally, like from the 40s.
I'll show. I'm just
you know what really irritates me whenever like I say like what's up to someone and they're like this guy, like that shit. That gets on my nerves so much because I don't know why. You're clever like that in middle school.
What's happening? What is happening?
Why does YouTube shorten the link and then make it so that you can't even click on them? Wow.
The double bubble one?
I post it. Every link that I post in the live chat on YouTube, YouTube shortens it, and then when you try to click on it, instead of clicking on the actual link, it puts in the URL the ...
Yeah.
It's great. Are you not allowed to put links in your? What the hell is that shit? YouTube.
It was like a cringy comic about.
What is that?
It's probably your own setting, isn't it? Like, wouldn't that just be a setting you have on that doesn't let links go in the chat?
No, the link can go in the chat. It gets posted, but YouTube shortens it, and then when you click on it, instead of the full URL being what you're directed to, you're directed to the half URL and a ... in the URL. So it's not the right link. So
I just noticed
goes,
why. I think like when I clicked copy link address, like this huge link of text just showed up. Like you copied the command of the paste of the link, something like that. It's really weird.
It's just what like there's a million. Yeah, that's a weird sound. There's a million things that YouTube does that are just you would never expect like a professionally run business to have those issues, but here we are. Remember when they ruined the comments with like Google Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember
Google
so
Plus
many
itself is just a terrible thing.
Things that they've done.
Google what?
It had potential. It was just made at the wrong time.
I wonder if these comments they don't even make sense. Some of them.
Yeah.
I wonder if this whole DTube thing will take off.
Yes or no?
Maybe.
DTube?
Yeah, it's like
What's that?
new YouTube competitor. I saw it on like TJ Kirk's
A
channel.
new YouTube what? Editor? What do you mean? Competitor. Okay, well,
Don't we have enough
here's
of
my
those?
prediction, not gonna happen.
Don't we already have one of those that's much better, anyways?
What's
That's called Pornhub.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fucking Verve.
That caught me off guard.
I don't know.
Verve. VRV.
I would just
You can't upload videos to Verve.
Yeah.
If Amazon competes, then we'll be fine. Because that's the only company that has the infrastructure and the technical know-how to be able to pull something like that off. Amazon's the only company I can think of that could do it. There's no.
Doesn't everybody just rent their server space from Amazon though? Like, isn't YouTube just run on the Amazon servers?
You're not going to find a startup that is able to compete.
Other than the Cool Cat copyright stuff that went down, have you had trouble in the past with copyright?
Yeah, of course, a lot.
Yeah.
The infamous Triple C.
What's that crackling?
They're.
You ever see the disclaimer at the start of all of his videos? It's like a large number of people do not understand copyright law, so I have to put this disclaimer. Go to my website if you don't find it all.
I started on YouTube at a time where you couldn't even
claim a video.
You couldn't even appeal claims.
My
Everyone's video got claimed. It was like, oops.
My review of Everyone's Hero got taken down instantly, but for some reason when I repealed it, it went back up instantly.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my
it was uploaded for like 5 seconds before YouTube is like, copyright infringement.
Content ID.
Yeah, Content ID is so dumb.
Honestly, it's important to talk about, but I cannot watch copyright videos. It's like I know all the points already, and they just get so monotonous at this point. I just don't get why YouTube can't enforce this shit better.
Because you got a million people actually breaking the law, right? Like, there's a million channels that upload like full CDs that are like selling currently or on Spotify. It's like people are actually breaking copyright law on YouTube all the time. There's so many movies and shit getting uploaded. So it's like you have to understand that. Like, I guarantee the reason it flags shit automatically is because there's like thousands. I mean, there's those channels that 24 hours a day play like Rick and Morty, King of the Hill, Family Guy. It's like, how the fuck can they do that? They're live all day playing or not brand new episodes, but like continuous episodes of a copyrighted show. So it's like you got to cut them a bit of slack in terms
They might not be monetizing it. I don't know. They might just be doing it just because for no reason.
Is that still legal though? Like, because you're still showing someone else's shit, like
it's not legal, but I mean,
I don't
if
think
you don't face legal repercussions, then
I don't think it's still up, but there was a pretty infamous instance where someone uploaded the entirety of the B movie to Pornhub.
Good.
That was fucking funny.
They did it to Twitter too.
Dude, there's a mod in Skyrim to where you can get the entire B movie script in a book.
Why would you?
Why is that a meme?
Why would you put that much effort into
That's
doing
like
that?
the Nutshack thing. Yellow, black, yellow, black.
I dig the Hausu and her poster, by the way, and Moonrise Kingdom and Upstream Color and Pulp Fiction. Those are some
Great
good movies.
choices. Good choices.
Yeah.
I'm
Good
staying in a ski house right now. They've got a Lolita poster right here.
Oh shit!
Her is one of my favorite movies. That movie was fantastic.
I wish they spelt it HURR.
Her. That's her.
Just like there's gotta be a her on top of that. Just give him
in
like
the sequel, Durr.
Have any of you seen Paul Blart Flesh Mall? That meme?
I've seen the meme.
There's another one where it's like
what?
It's Paul Blart Flesh Mall, and there's another one called USSR Sputnik Bit Butt, and it just is like the Sputnik over his face, and they use the letters like when criminals send in like anonymous letters, and it made my week. I'll try and find a link for it.
Oh man, somebody just typed in one of the unfunniest memes into YouTube chat. They said Hodor. Man, that was never good.
That was almost never a meme though.
Oh, it was a meme for a very short amount of time. But that was never a good meme. Holy crap.
Some are just never funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was never good. Fuck Game of Thrones, man.
I haven't done it.
I never got into it, so
fantastic segue though.
I don't think it's boring, but I didn't get into it because every episode felt really long.
It's
like
one of the
I
most
sat through
uneventful
episode 1 and I was like, it feels
has
like
the slowest pacing.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I think I should. But should I? Tell me. Should I watch it?
I watched the first 3 episodes and was like, well, I don't care about anything that's going on, and I like fuck everybody who's telling me that I should watch like 8 seasons before and then it starts getting really good. Like I hate that kind of shit.
For a show to be good. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, you just
I have
torture yourself. Commit weeks of your life to something.
If something can at least if something can keep me at least entertained for at least one episode, I'll give the next 2 a try. But if it doesn't kick off by then, I just stop.
Yeah, Game of Thrones not for me.
I tried to watch it. Very boring.
I don't give a shit about.
You want a boring show that nothing happens in?
Bad didn't just like take 5 years. They took all the backstory of Walt. They just went straight into that shit. It was perfect.
You want a show where nothing happens? Bloodline. Holy shit! I got into it and I watched the first season and it was the only reason why it was interesting because they keep this mystery like hanging over your head for the entire first season, and whenever it drops, you're just like, okay, I don't want to watch anymore. Actually, there's a second season.
I think my sibling was watching that show, and I like walked in and watched it, and like I remember just every single shot did that thing where like the dolly was to the left and then the right again in the same shot.
Yeah,
and it just looks really weird and off-putting. You know, like a lot of procedural TV shows do that.
Like the thing is that like it tries to be this show that's like super grounded to the point where it's just boring at a certain point.
Bloodline?
Yeah.
Even though Ben Mendelsohn's always awesome and stuff.
I love Ben Mendelsohn.
He was good in Darkest Hour.
What are your thoughts on Silence of the Lambs? I watched that the other day.
I would have to watch it recently to give any real opinions on it, because right now I think I watched it when I was like 14 or something. So the only thing that's sticking out in my head right now is like the scenes that were like memed in pop culture for forever, like you know, the "I can smell your pussy" or whatever.
Really? Because more people talk about "Would you fuck me?"
And then I just remember I was like, I don't remember how old I was, but I was pretty young when I saw it, and I remember. I'm not to spoil anything, even though I guess it's past its year where that would matter. But I remember watching like the night vision scene and just thinking like, man, I wish that they could have filmed it in a different way or something, because you know, no, I get it. I just I'll have to watch it again, but like. It doesn't convince me to have lights on, but the implication that that it's pitch black, you know, because they're showing there's light coming from behind the camera on, so that you can see the goggles that he's wearing. But then every time it shows that, I'm just thinking like it's not like I know it's trying to create the illusion and that I'm supposed to be under that impression that it's pitch black. I'm just well, yeah, I mean, if we the viewers can see the goggles that he's wearing, then the other character that supposedly can't see anything should also be able to see what we can see.
See through his goggles.
And
We see through his goggles. We don't see his
no,
goggles.
we literally see. Well, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I'm pretty fucking sure that we
Yeah, no,
see.
there's
Like,
there's a
that's
reverse shot.
the irk that I had is we see a shot of his goggles where we can see like not through his goggles, but like watching.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's what I'm talking about. I'm just
I saw it recently.
Yeah, but I mean that's a little nitpick. I know, but
honestly, Anthony Hopkins is just one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
As a whole, and his performance was fantastic in that.
You know?
Yeah, I want to see it again, and it's on Criterion now. So
I feel like I feel
think
ashamed for never having seen The Godfather.
Oh, I just watched that today. I watched it for a second time, but I just watched it again today. It really is fantastic.
Good movie.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
If you have the time, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. For the time, it's fantastic. Especially the lighting in that movie. Every single shot is so consistent in its lighting and every way it's done. It almost feels like a perfect movie. There's definitely problems, but
I really enjoyed it. The fight scene was unconvincing.
The fight scene over at
what movie?
Where all they're hanging out, that was pretty shit. But
you know what movie like a lot of people like that I hated was fucking 500 Days of Summer.
Yeah, I'll have that's another one I'll have to watch again.
I didn't like it at all.
It was recommended to me by Shay.
Like I thought it tried to do something different with the romance movie formula, but ultimately didn't, and also ruined any type of character development for the main character with its use of voiceover.
I think that's a film that gets less credible with each new film that Mark Webb makes.
Great, got it. Great, good.
Yeah.
I feel like it becomes less credible with the more romance movies that are actually good that come out.
Okay, got it.
Do you think the Man from Earth remake with the exact same script could work?
Man, there was a movie.
That to me that movie was good in concept, but in acting and like execution was kind of eh.
Yeah.
There was a list of like the worst movies of 2017, and some of them I was just like, I don't give a shit about this, and then I saw on the list was like something that Mark Webb directed. I was like, oh, maybe I should see it.
What's one of the worst movies you've seen?
Yeah, what is? I didn't know this shit.
Gifted, starring
Transformers.
Oh, that one.
Maybe I'm thinking of something different. This one has a 7.6 on IMDb.
I've never seen a worse movie than After Last Season.
Oh, that is
like bottom of the barrel.
I can't wait to watch The Space Between Us. That's something I'm looking forward to laughing at.
Valerian was pretty great.
I was looking forward to that because it seemed like a. Unironically, I was excited to see it because I thought the concept was interesting, but when the reviews came out, I was like,
"It looks so funny."
To be honest, a lot of the Asylum movies are just so glaringly nothing movies that it almost makes them like in a category of their own horribleness. Like they're just so painful to try to watch, not just because they're ripoffs, but because they add nothing. They're just like nothing. It's like watching dust. So little. And so minimal.
It's probably worse than the Asylum video Brancato.
Oh my god. Oh.
That shit is painful.
I don't know. Ratatouille was pretty good.
Got him. That was a huge collaboration. Holy fuck.
That reminds me. Apparently 4Kids does the dubs for Brancato. That's why 50 characters in Ratatouille were voiced by Dr. Eggman.
Oh yeah, Eggman was in it. One of the like annoying rats was played by like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon.
What the fuck?
It's not surprising. It's
Yeah,
not
the one with
surprising
the
at all.
fucking curly hair that was like, oh, like the most annoying one.
What's
It's
a
not surprising at all.
Sorry. What?
Oh, I was just quoting the relationship thing.
One of the most disappointing movies for me that I remember was The Adjustment Bureau.
Oh.
Was that the one
Is
where Matt Damon wore a fedora?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really weird movie.
Oh my god, it's coming back to me.
Well, see, I would have liked it to be weird, but it wasn't. It was just average and predictable.
And Terrence Stamp playing Terrence Stamp.
Have you seen Downsizing yet?
No. No, I've not.
Thanks.
Who is the woman that I guess directed and made the Edward Snowden documentary? She also did the Neighborhood documentary and
yeah.
We're like a
she's like a journalist, but she's
Wasn't-
director as
wasn't
well.
Snowden. Are you talking about Snowden with Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
No, I'm talking about the real. I'm talking about the real thing.
The,
Here you go,
the
guys.
documentary from my 2014 list.
The glory of Matt Damon in a fedora.
I forgot what the title of that movie is already.
I looked into it. And she did another one in the early 2000s where she documented like gentrification and like gay dudes moving into Detroit neighborhoods, and the other people were getting really mad because they were moving in and renovating the houses and making the neighborhood go up in price and making it more affluent.
Interesting.
Did any of you
documentary?
Did any of you see the documentary The Work this year?
No.
That's really good. It's really fucking intense about group therapy sessions in prison.
You know what was a really boring movie that should have been a documentary? Zero Dark 30. That movie bored me to tears.
It had pacing issues. It was fine.
I
It was
watched-
all right.
I watched The Union. He recommended that in his documentaries list. It was pretty dope. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of those on the list too.
Yeah.
Good movie. Would watch again.
A weird documentary is Lars von Trier's The Five Obstructions.
Oh yeah.
Watched that recently.
I can't. You know, I whenever I mention him from now on, I think I just call him Lars. Okay, I'm a Nazi von Trier. I mean,
I can't take him seriously anymore. I can't take him seriously anymore.
I'm glad I was ahead of the curve on that. It's one of those things like there's a lot of people that take him way too seriously, and I think I popped in at the right time.
I've never seen any of his movies until I started watching your videos.
He makes some great movies. There's some really interesting things that he does, and he deserves having a name as an artistic filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And according to Lars von, Willem Dafoe
And
is a
I started watching Nymphomaniac to see if it really was that bad, and I couldn't sit through it. I was
Some
like, this is the most
directors
pretentious shit ever.
What were you saying? According to Lars von?
On their level of retarded.
According to Lars von Trier, Willem Dafoe has a frighteningly large penis.
Why would that be a thing? They used sex doubles.
Yeah, but
I guess maybe he caught a glimpse of it when he got the butt shot. Because Willem Dafoe has a weird butt, is what I learned from Antichrist. He's got like a fat booty. It's so weird.
Have you seen To Live and Die in L.A.?
Sorry?
Have you seen To Live and Die in L.A.?
No.
He's like a weird Japanese like art dealer who destroys his own art and is constantly naked like around a fireplace, and
He's
it's
had
great.
some interesting characters.
Dafoe?
Someone in chat said that
I swear,
that the director of It was directing The Shining.
if no one fucking uses Willem Dafoe to play the Joker in some sort of movie, they have done a disservice to society. Like, Jesus Christ.
We don't need another Joker.
We don't really
I
need any more-
mean, Jared Leto pretty much knocked it out of the park. I think we can just retire the Joker as a character after Jared
yeah,
Leto's.
I'm sure
performance.
DC will do that.
Ugh.
I'm
Man,
sure they don't want to hammer him into the ground and like ring him for the last dollar they can get.
I just, it's at what point did it start becoming so aggressive with these like reboots? Like it's already weird when you're rebooting in the first place, but like we've had 3 separate Spider-Man series, like universes, within a decade. I find that odd. And to reboot the Joker so quickly, I find it a little disrespectful towards like Heath Ledger and his performance, and it's a bit of a piss off.
I wouldn't say I don't know. I just think that
give it a bit of time. Is all I'm asking.
I think DC just needs to scrap like everything and just do standalone movies.
They need to just kill it. They need to start over.
They definitely do need to kill it.
Make something new.
Because Justice League, I didn't see Justice League.
Make something.
I didn't see Justice League, but I've seen clips, and it looks like just the worst movie you could ever see. Just the effects are fucking awful.
I was so surprised that it bombed. I knew it looked like shit, but I thought for sure it was.
I wasn't surprised in the least. I saw the after this last trailer dropped, I was like, "Yep, this is gonna be a piece of shit."
Even DC fans just aren't giving a shit anymore.
Yeah, I'm a huge DC fan, and I don't give a shit anymore.
The only reason these things were making money at all is because like they would tell themselves, maybe this one will be good.
Yeah, and then after BVS, they were just fuck it.
Well,
I didn't even know Justice League was released. What? I thought we were still waiting.
It was a
made
movie.
and released?
It was released in theaters already.
What happened? What?
It's funny.
I didn't watch it. I didn't give a shit.
Where am I living? How am I living in a world where
there's a scene in the movie. There's a scene in the movie that was converted from nighttime to day in post, and it looks awful. It looks awful.
I heard about the like mustache removal.
Oh
yeah, that shit looks terrible. Some people are like, it doesn't look that bad. It looks bad.
I wonder if there's like shit that they try to fix between the theatrical release and the Blu-ray release. I wonder if they'll do that. Is it on Blu-ray already?
But like, no, not yet. I don't think so.
I wonder if they'll pull that shit.
There's some people that are like, there's some people that tried to say it didn't look that bad. It looked that bad. It was awful.
I mean, how much footage did they reintroduce in like the Blu-ray version of Batman v Superman?
Like 30 more minutes.
That's it's an odd business strategy, because it's like it seems like every time they release a movie, they're like, okay, well, people saying it sucks in theaters, so how are we going to get people to buy this on Blu-ray? Let's say it has an unrated cut. It's like 20 more minutes of this bullshit.
It's the director's vision.
Yeah, like this seriously fixes all the issues.
This is the directors who also made this movie for a corporate reasons vision. Guy.
We got a super chat question. Saying any news on Neil Breen's new movie Twisted? I'm not the person to ask. Maybe you should ask Neil Breen. What do you mean?
You're the Neil Breen expert.
I don't know any more about his new film than he does.
The Brainiac.
It's really odd. Listening to people talk about their horrible movies in like such positive light. They try to pass it off as like some artistic vision. It's very odd to me whenever people talk about movies like that.
It's not a midnight movie.
In fairness to Neil Breen, at least it's better than fucking Asylum or any of those other movies. I mean, the man clearly doesn't know how to make a movie at all.
He knows how to make an entertaining movie.
Laptops, guys. He spilled a lot of coffee to make that movie. That's effort.
He hates laptops.
What I do know about
man does not like laptops.
What I do know about Neil Breen's Twisted is that apparently the production has wrapped and it's like going into post or something. And also, there is a documentary crew. Who the fuck? I don't know who these people are, but somebody is making a documentary of the filmmaking process of Neil Breen for this new film.
Hey, do you think
there is a documentary?
It'd be ironic if the documentary was better than the film.
It doesn't. I doubt it.
Do you think Neil Breen is under the assumption people like his shit unironically?
No. I messaged
No
him
one
on
does, I
Facebook saying how much I liked his movie, and I think he knew it was ironically because he blocked me immediately.
Yeah.
No, I honestly with Neil Breen, I loved his movies. To be
He's
honest,
a
They're not good,
strange.
but I had
man.
such a fun time watching them that I love them. I mean, they're bad movies. They have no qualities at all that would
At least
ever
he doesn't
have to
Oh.
be regarded above like a 2 out of 10.
At least he doesn't
Adam,
DMCA happy like Daddy Derek.
I'm gonna
Adam,
be
what am-
back
what am I
in like a minute.
What'd you say?
Okay.
I'm gonna be
All
back
right,
in like a
dude.
minute. You'll see me
Okay.
walk away from the camera. Don't be scared. BRB.
I was about to say
God,
one of my
Adam's
favorite
on-
one of my favorite videos from Adam was whenever they were trying to watch Nanaland or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yes. Oh, no.
That shit was so funny.
I showed it to like my dad and my sister, and they were laughing so hard. We just had a magical.
My dad and I we had to play the Neil Breen drinking game. And I'm like,
You'll probably die.
But it was so fun.
Violence
He
against
He
laptops.
diluted beer. So yeah,
What if
that was fantastic.
what if Neil Breen's just a really, really awesome troll?
Excellent.
Amazing.
Like a performance artist committing to his craft.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
You think he's a big penis like Willem Dafoe?
Even like his bad Facebook selling and the fact that all of his discs come really bad and bad cracked jewel cases. That's all like part of his plan.
Yeah, totally.
With the
He
names,
wants to go down as like the worst director, but people started liking his new movies, unironically.
even Daddy Derek like glued on a sheet of paper onto his DVDs. I mean, it peeled off immediately, but it's more effort than just writing on it in Sharpie.
That's a charm.
No, Neil Breen. No.
You about sideburns, man. It's like I find I like accidentally like shave this part sometimes and it looks really weird. But then it's like when it grows back, then I just have these like short hairs just hanging out there. Like I don't want them. What do I do?
What would you do, Adam, if you woke up after like a party or something and your friends had shaved your head?
They wouldn't be my friends anymore.
I mean, obvious answer, I guess.
Good answer, yeah.
What if 2 terrorists came in and shaved your head?
They wouldn't be my friends either.
Good one.
Guys, it's not cool, ISIS.
This is now a Blu-ray unboxing video. I just got some shit in the mail.
Hey-oh.
Oh, crap. Endless Poetry.
Nice.
By Hodorowski. What's interesting about this film, I saw it in theaters. And I helped back it on Kickstarter.
Cool.
I actually got these little Kickstarter perks. I'm just going to grab them right now. Hold on.
Oh god, he's gone again. What do we do?
Has anyone seen Paranoid
Kill each
Thoughts
other?
for Elephant? No.
I forget what he calls them. It's like spirit money or some shit. It's basically just these like fake bills with like his face on them.
Yeah, boy.
Hodorowski.
What on earth?
Yeah.
Try to pay.
The like poetic money or whatever. It's not real money. It was just a weird.
No shit.
Back.
Try and go into a bank and use it.
He should have made a fucking cryptocurrency.
I
tell Adam, one of my
that was officially
you a poetry coin.
like legal tender.
Like I was telling them, Adam, one of my favorite videos from you is the Nanaland one.
Oh, thank you.
That was
Actually,
funny.
I actually showed my 2-year-old son the one episode I could find on YouTube of Nanoland. It's like, it's pure. 2 years old. He liked it.
Got a pretty standard case.
Russer.
Yes, sir.
In the when I saw this in theaters, you know, so like one of the Kickstarter perks is that your name appears in the credits for the film, right? And so I've seen a bunch of movies before where basically they'll just have like a fucking like gigantic like credits sequence where there's like 300 or like 3,000 names just like in this big fucking chunk going down the screen. This movie was very strange. They took all these names and like zoomed out to this like this what do you call them?
Mosaic?
Yeah, like it made a mosaic and then all the names turned into Hodorowski's face. It was so strange. And
that actually beats the end credits to Undertale.
Yeah. And so now now that I have the Blu-ray, I have to like go through it and see if I can find my name because like I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna find my name in that mess.
I don't know if that's egotistical or really like heartfelt.
It's
like
so strange.
What the fuck?
He's a spiritual man. So I'm gonna have to like go through that frame by frame and figure out where the fuck my name is because I didn't see it. It happened too fast in the theaters. It was so strange. Like, I was so weirded out by it.
Just think about the fact that he put actual effort into putting your name into a mosaic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm not sure if it's like egotistical or heartfelt. Like
I would say it's very honorable.
That's heartfelt.
We got the new Criterion release, I, Daniel Blake.
Oh yeah.
Film from 2016.
Yeah.
2016 film. It's I would really recommend it. It was awesome. 9 out of 10. Can't wait to see it.
Synopsis.
I actually just saw it. It's
it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will definitely be on my 2016 list.
I've never bought anything like Criterion.
Do it.
Like, how do you order it?
They're great.
On Amazon or the Criterion
Amazon.
website? Yeah.
I recently got my first ones.
Oh crap, that's gonna be a little problematic for me. I live across the Atlantic Ocean.
They started it in England. They had to have a Region B.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
They have Criterion Region B?
Yeah, they just started.
You know what you can also do is just get a fucking region-free Blu-ray player. You know, just if you care about physical media and you're a movie nerd and you want to support the artist, just fucking bite the bullet, spend $100 or whatever on getting a region-free Blu-ray player.
You know what gives me cancer?
Fucking bite the bullet, and it makes things so much easier. It makes your life so much less painful.
One thing that really pisses me off about buying Blu-rays is the digital codes that come with them are nearly fucking impossible to redeem.
Yeah.
They're fucking retarded.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well just download the movie. That's why I always give those away for free.
When do you think Blu-rays will be obsolete?
When streaming becomes as good as the physical medium?
Well, I mean, Criterion's just one of those things keeping it alive still. I mean, Blu-rays will always have a collector's kind of value to it in the same way that vinyl hasn't died. It almost died, but now it's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's the highest quality physical way to purchase a film, then it'll still have some sort of marketing. Now we have like 4K Blu-ray and shit. I don't even have a 4K player, but it comes in a combo pack, so it's like it's just if I have a 4K.
I'm actually going to be getting a 4K Blu-ray player soon.
Can't see what DVD that is.
This is a Dunkirk.
One downside. One downside is that most 4K TVs display at a higher refresh rate, which sucks for most movies.
This is the A Town Called Panic, The Collection, it said. So I think this is the same thing I saw in theaters last year, where it was like just a bunch of shorts. All I know is that it has more stuff than the Blu-ray that I already have. So I don't even think this is like the movie. I don't even know because it says I don't know what it comes with. It might have the movie that I already own and plus a bunch more shit. I don't know, but I bought it because I love A Town Called Panic, and I know that there's more shit on here than what I already have. So, highly recommend A Town Called Panic, the film. Panique au village.
Do any of you collect from Arrow Video?
No.
They're pretty awesome. They have a lot of good like Dario Argento movies and other fun like horror movies.
Adam, what kind of
Yes.
music do you like?
Auditory.
Should I go to a specific genre?
Well, there you go.
I don't know. It's pretty widespread.
I like a variety of genres. You know,
Well, I was just gonna ask
orchestral or like
what kind of genres you like. Not exact things, but do you have a preferred genre to listen to?
depends on my mood. You know, I like folk. I like orchestral. I like hip hop. I like rock. I like some metal. I don't know. There's no genres that I hate.
What kind of folk do you like, actually?
It depends. It depends what you can define as that, because there's like
Yeah, I listen to most
the
of their
low,
music,
like the
but-
low anthem, and like
they're amazing.
Bright Eyes has, you know, an
The only-
album at
the
least
only
that's
genre-
pretty folky.
The only genre I can bring myself to hate is country.
I don't think you can make that criticism necessarily for all country, though.
I
I
don't
think,
know.
I think modern country is shit, but there's a lot of really.
I don't like any country. I like Southern rock. Southern rock's good, like some Leonard Skinner and stuff.
Yeah,
But
there's this
country.
There's this band I listen to sometimes called An Unkindness.
Oh, nice.
Great band.
It
I've
sounds
heard of 'em.
pretty cool, but I hear that the lead singer is a neo-Nazi, so I don't know. if
Yeah,
that's-
lead singer sounds kind of weird. He's just got this really odd voice. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I actually.
I think he fucked a cat, so I don't know.
Speaking of
I
fucking
should
cat, the
support
new,
him.
the new Tyga album cover that they
That was
had.
weird. The new Tyga album.
Yeah.
Basically furry porn, kind of.
Wait, what is it?
Oh, let me get a picture of it.
It's like, it's not really. It's almost furry porn. It's so strange. That's like the new album cover
what
is
are
just like face down, ass up, photoshopped tiger girl.
Do you like Ash Corp?
I don't know.
I like triangular tits.
I like some Ash Corp. I'm friends with Ash Corp.
Do you like? What are your thoughts on gorillas?
Oh shit.
I really like Demon Days, except for the one track "Don't Get Lost in Heaven," which I always have to end the album before that comes out because I hate it.
I like listening to their stuff, but I hate playing it.
I love the gorillas is my favorite, probably my favorite artist. Probably.
Yeah, I really like Captain Christian's video on the Gorillas.
Yeah, fantastic. He's
Yeah,
also
I like
creator.
I like
But
listening to them, but I don't.
all of Gorillaz albums except for like when they release G sides. It's not my thing, but I like Plastic Beach and Demon Days, and even Humans was pretty dope.
Like there are a few bands where like I like listening to them, but I don't like playing their stuff, and there are a few where I like playing their stuff, but I don't like listening to them. Like one of the ones I love playing, but hate not necessarily hate listening to, but don't really like listening to is Tool.
I like Herbie Hancock playing it, but a lot of his music just gets kind of numbing after
I
a while.
like playing Axel F by Crazy Frog.
Oh, fuck off.
Adam,
One of my favorite bands to play and listen to.
Isn't it weird? Like that those music videos were on TV, and he just has a fucking penis hanging out. You can see a frog penis in every music video.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Tsunami.
He has a
once.
little fucking kid dick. And that was on TV. It was so weird.
One of my favorite bands to play and listen to is Between the Buried and Me.
One of my favorite bands is Nickelback.
Oh, Mags is pretty good.
Have you seen those YouTube poops where it's called like nickel shit and it's like this? Okay.
Oh, the one by CS108?
Yeah. That's the one. That was amazing.
I'm trying to see if this video still exists. It might have gotten copyright claimed or something. Let me see. There's a video where people took 2 different Nickelback songs and put one in the left channel and one in the right channel.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah. They sound exactly the same.
Yeah, they're like the same song. Let's see.
My dad unironically likes Nickelback and Creed.
Disown yourself.
Here we are. I found the video.
Their songs are fine to listen to if they're on the radio, but other than that, they're just eh.
How'd they become a meme? People
Video title is called "This Is How You Remind Me of Someday," and
Yeah,
it's a
I've seen
very
that.
it's a great video to watch. I'm gonna be ending the stream pretty soon because it's coming up to like 3 hours, and I gotta fucking figure out if my voice is good enough to do more 2015 list recording because
I know if you
Just try and deep throat a dildo. Try and deep throat a dildo, and if you do that, then your voice is
nothing
good.
works.
I can vouch for that. That doesn't work.
Just talk like you did in your Phantom Thread review with no explanation.
You know,
in the middle of the video.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll drink some tea or something and see what I can do. Because right now, like, literally everything that I could possibly get done is already done, except for the 11 movies left that I have to talk about and then edit. You know, like
you sound like you usually do.
Sorry?
You sound like you usually do.
Yeah, my voice is coming back. I can definitely hear a lot more raspiness than I usually have, but maybe that's just because I'm in my own head.
Well, yeah, everyone's voice sounds different.
Yeah.
I found my voice is annoying.
Yeah.
I hated my voice until I hated my voice until I recently recorded myself running through one of my scripts.
Yeah, you know what? You just got to get used to it.
I hate my voice.
I mean, my presentation and how I, you know, talk and enunciate has kind of changed over time anyway. So
yeah, because I've gone back with a few YouTubers and they have like this flat presentation at first, but then eventually develop their own voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that'll happen to me, because I don't know, I sound kind of fake in the Everyone's Hero video. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, you'll figure it out.
I can never find that. I had that kind of.
By the way,
trial and error.
Hoodwinked is next.
Gotta do it. You gotta just.
The best way to do it is to treat it like you're having a conversation and sort of try and naturally enunciate and talk how you would normally talk with people around you, just a little bit exaggerated.
Yeah. So you'd like take one of your friends, you kill them, you put their dead body behind your mic, and then you pretend that they're still alive, so that you pretend you're having a conversation with them, and then you can record the video. And as long as you hide the body properly, then you've got a good YouTube career ahead of you. Then.
Sounds good to me.
And you gotta preserve it because it's gonna stink up. It's gonna stink up the place if you don't preserve it.
Yeah, and be sure to get some audio like removal stuff. You don't want the blood dripping in the background.
Yeah.
No, you suck the blood out first. You drink.
Hey guys,
Adam is a vampire.
Absorb.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny that one of the second Hostel movie tried to rip off of the whole Elizabeth Bathory stuff.
Oh
yeah.
I don't know if it's really ripping off. I mean, I haven't.
Well, like
seen
it tried to like emulate it, and it just became hilarious.
I mean, I wouldn't accuse the creators of Silence the Lambs of ripping off Ed Gein.
Yeah.
What I will ask is if anybody has any questions that they were dying to ask. Yes.
Yes.
Go for it.
I saw on Twitter that you have a Nintendo Switch. What do you have on it?
I downloaded VVVVVV, and I downloaded Minecraft. And I have Super Mario World
Odyssey.
And I bought the Zelda thing so I can say hello to Bird Daddy.
Are you talking about Cass?
Cass is super cute.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
So
him and Prince Sidon.
And fuck Sidon. Fuck that guy.
Oh,
dude,
I mean,
Team
he has
Burp.
Pretty viral.
He has the stupidest hair.
I think he
Made
doesn't
out of
have hair.
fish. It's trying to be hair. It's just fish.
Would you try?
I think they're both hot.
I'm pretty much just using the Switch for like, as a mobile handheld.
Dark Souls is coming.
The only time I plugged it into a TV is when I was playing the Super Meat Boy versus thing with a friend. And you know what? Maybe when Smash comes out, I'll do a Twitch stream. But I'm just not looking forward to the dispute I'm gonna have with Nintendo over copyright because they think they own every fucking thing. So,
would you ever consider doing Patreon movie nights instead of the Hangouts every once in a while?
That would be a nightmare of practical issues. If you can formulate a way to do it that would make sense, then maybe I'll consider that. If you want to give me like a how-to on how I would even fucking do that,
well,
then
there is an app or a website you can use called Rabbit if you don't
that has
if you know
maximum
about that
10
or
people.
Oh yeah,
I can't stream that to like YouTube. That has a very finite cap. So like that's fine if you have like a small group of friends, and that's the only reason that type of thing would be legal in the first place, is because like, it's like they are in the room with you anyway. It's like, is it stealing if I show a friend a movie on Netflix when I'm the one paying for it? So, but as soon as you try to,
what do you think of Swans?
of what Swans? The band?
Swans, the band. I got into music, so I just wanted to see what you thought.
They had some interesting stuff that I heard on their CD that sounded pretty cool. I went to one of their live shows and it was unbearable because it was just really loud jamming and they were playing like the same note for like an hour and it was so strange. And I realized after the show that apparently their live performances are more just like performance art than actually trying to play songs. So that was weird.
What about Coed and Cambria?
They're fine. I can't say I've listened to a lot. I've just heard some songs on like Rock Band and stuff. So
Brockhampton?
Yeah. Was there I think there was another person that wanted to ask.
I also had another question. You go first.
What are your thoughts on Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell? 9 on IMDb, but considering it wasn't on your top 10 list, is that like outdated or what?
Don't concern
Trust your
yourself
IMDb ratings.
with IMDb ratings if I haven't made a video on them. But that would be, I'm not sure, I don't know if I would give it a 9 or not, but it would be something that I would probably retrospectively add to my 2009 list. Because it has much more purposeful and metaphorical intent than most people would see on surface level. And I think it is a very well made movie. And yeah, I didn't consider it that way when I made my list as much. Like I still loved it, but I just considered it more of a guilty pleasure. But I think it does belong on the list. I would add it retrospectively.
Any words or thoughts on Westworld?
I haven't seen it yet.
I actually just watched it this month.
It's fantastic. I rewatched it as well.
I was getting a little bored with it the first few episodes, but then it kind of started to pick up about halfway through for me.
All right, we're ending this soon. There was somebody else who ended.
I just had one question.
Yes.
Can I hear your thoughts on Valerian? Because I just thought it was so fucking fun. Accidental.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it specifically to laugh at it, and I got some entertainment value out of it. I find it fascinating when so much money is wasted. That was a pretty large production.
And independent. The largest independent film I think ever made.
In like the largest movie, the most expensive movie ever made in like France or something.
Do you consider Dane DeHaan a good actor?
Not really. He fit his character well in Chronicle, and that's about it. Everything he's been in since then, he's definitely has not helped it out.
I didn't mind. I liked him in Place Beyond the Pines, but I haven't really seen anything that he.
I don't even remember him being in that.
He was in like the third storyline.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
In your It review, which is by the way pretty great. What you never actually said your thoughts on some of the child actor, if I remember correctly, or some of the child actors specifically. I mean, you said that some of them were a little heavy-handed at parts, but what was your main thoughts on how well the performance was?
They did a great job with what they were given.
I think some of the scripts for that shit was pretty bad, but they did really well. Right?
Yeah, I think that's basically what I said. Is like there are moments where what they're saying seems either stupid or unrealistic, but it's not their fault as actors. It's more to do with the script and how they wrote certain lines for the kids.
Yeah.
What you think of a movie like that? It's pretty good. You know, you don't really get to see, like, a lot of genuinely solid child performances.
The only gripe I had was the Billy part, and I explained that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't really care for
child actors in
Pennywise.
The Witch.
I screamed louder than that kid when I stubbed my toe. So I don't know why he's not screaming.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, The Witch had some great acting, although sometimes it was great, sometimes it was not so great. The Witch, I haven't seen it for a second time yet, but I remember specifically in the theater, the boy in that movie. There were some scenes where I was like, "Holy shit, this is fantastic," and other scenes where I was like, "It's kind of bad." So there was a lot of variation in that movie. Yeah, the Vavitch. Was there anybody who didn't really get to ask their question before?
I just have a quick one.
Yes.
When you mentioned the Low Anthem, I kind of got a little bit ecstatic because I adore them, and to know that they're so underground and know that you know them is kind of weird. So I just wanted to ask quickly, which is one of your favorite songs from them?
A lot of the tracks on What the Crow Brings. A Weary Horse Hides the Pain is a good track. And then I really love man, is that the first track on Oh My God, Charlie Darwin, is that just Oh My God, Charlie Darwin? Is that what the track's called? OMG CD or something?
I think it's just Charlie Darwin in itself.
Okay, yeah. That song I really like, and then Ohio I really like.
I'm a huge fan of Charlie Darwin as well. I also really like Ghost Woman Blues and This Goddamn House.
Yeah, they have a lot of great songs. I wasn't too keen on their, I forget what the album was called, the one after OMG CD. I wasn't really huge on that one. It was produced by Mike Mogus, and it went a completely different route than what, not just what I was familiar with, but what I love about them. It just, I don't know. There weren't really any tracks on that third album that I found to be like memorable or.
Right. It's kind of the same thing I felt with Mumford and Sons.
Anyway,
Are you a weary horse, Adam?
Sorry?
Are you a weary horse?
Two of you are talking at once.
Sorry.
Right, yeah.
I just said, are you a weary horse?
Yes, but I hide the pain.
I just want to say you're how I got into films, and I just want to thank you for that.
No problem.
And I just want to know if you like Paranoid Park and Elephant.
Yes.
Elephant
yes,
is good.
I do. I saw Paranoid Park when I was a lot younger, so I would have to watch it again. From my memory, it's not as good as Elephant. I've only seen both of them once, though. Elephant
is better than Paranoid Park.
I love Elephant. There's a lot of cool filmmaking things happening in there to do with like the audio editing that I found to be very clever. In just, retelling a scene from different perspectives in ways where it could not possibly have been done with A and B cameras rolling simultaneously. So there's a lot of cool stuff in that movie that I find interesting, just filmmaking wise, and I like Elephant a lot. I'll have to watch that one again. So, those I enjoyed those. I think I have Elephant on Blu-ray actually. I think I do. It was a weird one to find. Yeah. I think it's like a French Blu-ray or something. I don't remember. But
Are you gonna do a Blu-ray collection video anytime soon? An update on that?
I would love to, but there's so many other things that I should probably do, or like probably prioritize. So I don't know about the words anytime soon, but there will be another one coming at some point. So anyway, I'm assuming nobody had any questions left they were dying to ask, and I can wrap this up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I saw Phantom Thread last night, so thanks for recommending that. That was pretty good. Yeah.
It was a great movie.
One more question. Why do you have such an appreciation for Lucas Hedges' performances?
I don't even want him to be a meme. I don't want... it was a bad coincidence of there being like 3 films in the span of like 6 months or something where he just basically was the worst part about the films.
Yeah.
And I don't have a vendetta against the guy. He's just consistently been the worst part of every movie he's been in. Even before Manchester, he was in Zero Theorem, and I thought the exact same thing. Like Terry Gilliam's Zero Theorem was like all right, but holy crap, the scenes that he was in made it bad. That pizza delivery scene, holy fuck, that was atrocious. And like back then, it's like, okay, the guy's a kid, whatever. Clearly, Wes Anderson used him in ways that he didn't have to do much, because he's fine in every Wes Anderson movie. But holy fuck. Now that I'm upset that he's being taken seriously by filmmakers and producers, and I'm upset that he apparently has the best fucking agent in the world. And I prefer my films to not have him in it, because he makes the films I love worse by being in it.
There should be like a little sticker on the bottom right. Lucas Hedges free.
If you cut out one scene in Lady Bird, then I wouldn't have any bad things to say about his performance. But as soon as he's expected to show any kind of real emotion, which there was a scene in Lady Bird where that happened, sorry, the movie's worse.
He wasn't nominated for either Billboards.
He was nominated for Manchester. And I would throw a fucking fit if he was nominated for Billboards. that would be... I would be so upset. I would be infuriated if that was the case.
Honestly, that kid Finn Wolfhard in It outdid every single Lucas Hedges performance I think I've seen.
He's doing Stranger Things too.
And Finn Wolfhard watches my videos, and Lucas Hedges doesn't. So
that reminds me. That was the other thing I was going to ask. You said in your It review that 2 people from It.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to put that in my video as like. First of all, I didn't want to be like bragging by name dropping, and second, if they watch my videos, I don't want to put them on the spot and have people like go up to them on Twitter and ask them about it when they don't. I'm not going to do that. So, but on this Google Hangout, sure, I can say Finn Wolfhard watches my videos, and Wyatt Olef watches my videos.
Really?
Wyatt Olaf.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Stan in that movie. That's weird. That's odd.
Yeah, so two of the kids from It
Finn's
watch
cool.
my videos. Yeah. So.
How's it spelled? Is it Scandinavian?
I don't know.
It's I think it's the weird Swedish O thing, and then
Olaf from Frozen.
Yeah, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to make like a. I didn't want
It's the guy with the
to
curly
name
hair,
drop
yeah.
them in a video with 300,000 views or whatever, and just put them on the spot and be weird about it.
Luger Morph Hedges.
Anyway, I'm gonna head out and get some more work done. So, thank you guys so much. I very
really
much appreciate your support. Thank you for your support on Patreon.
You're very
Thank you for
welcome.
hanging
Thank
out.
you
It
for
was
the
good.
time.
It was a good hangout.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Well, soon.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure.